If we go clockwise from where I'm at, we got Kirby, Sarah, Nessa, Steve, and Mo.
Push to talk already messing me up. Okay.
Now you're muted.
You're muted, man.
Oh god. Is it working now? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm Kirby. I use they them pronouns or anything really, but yeah.
I'm Sarah, she, her.
I'm Nessa, also she, her.
I'm Steve. I'm he, him, and I'm the Dragon X on TikTok.
And I'm Mo. I go by they, she pronouns.
All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to take from Spectaculars the setting book, which allows you as a group to decide what the city is taking place in and stuff. And then we use Microscope to kind of fill out the superhero history of our particular world. So one of the things, like basically when it comes down to it, the important things for masks is superheroes exist and they're fairly common. And there are teenage superheroes who are trying to sort of make a name for yourself. Now, it could be that people love superheroes. It could be like an X-Men style game where like superheroes are reviled, or like or people are afraid of them, or anything in between. That part does not matter as much as those two things. So we will then get to decide how we want it. So as we go through, we'll sort of talk it out. There's stuff on the basics, which is the first ones you go to. And then there's also a bunch of others. If we decide to bring some stuff in, one of the fun parts is we can like bring in one of the sheets and then make our decisions. Okay, cool. So we've decided to have a secret lab that's kind of important. Let's bring it in. We can make some decisions on that and help create it so this place feels... It feels like we've got a history, because the problem I found with masks, if you don't do that, your characters are supposed to either look up to or want to be like these other heroes. It's just that nobody has a reference. So, to start off with, what decade would we like our stories? Between the 50s, the 2020s, or the 2100s? If you're on Millinote, oh yeah, if you're on Millinote, if you go into world information and then city info.
What is this Millinote?
It is in the Discord. It is the last one that's pinned in the Masks channel. I can see all of your little things running around.
I don't know what mine looks like, so I'm just here.
Yeah, I mean it's literally just it's your name and a little mouse pointer.
I see.
Can you see mine?
I don't know how anybody else feels, but I think like the 2010s or 2020s would probably be the easiest. That way we don't have to like radically change our way of thought, and like the world will work quite similar to how it works now. But that's my vote. I don't care what everybody else
take on
thinks.
the transatlantic accent. Talk like Cary Grant.
It's 1950s, like, yeah, look, Shay. Yeah, we're supervillains, Shay. We're here to take you down.
I mean, that could be fun.
I mean, I could try to do the accent from Aubrey from Little Shop of Horrors.
The only thing I can do. Frank, can you Sadie Doyle? Frank. No, I like the 2010s. I think that's good.
2010s?
This is a point of reference.
Yeah.
I will put the drawing in.
At least
Okay.
I was alive during those times, so I know how at least what happened.
So, for the city itself, the second one you'll see there, do we want this to take place in a real city or a fictional city?
I go for real.
Yeah, let's go real.
I'm cool with either. So
Let's go Philly.
I know nothing about Pennsylvania, so that's fine by me.
Yes.
We're not talking about Pennsylvania, we're talking about Philly.
They are different places.
No, that means we have to have Philadelphia accents.
isn't
I
that the
already
truth?
got that on lock.
I mean, we don't have to do anything.
That's true.
I mean, my character can just moved in recently, so I could just.
Yeah.
Do we want to
just
go
not.
Philly?
We
No, I like the
honestly,
idea because Philly is not where people normally have like superhero things. I like
And
that.
I'm so excited. Yes, let's do it.
yeah. It's a very-
Philadelphia it is.
with almost no
Oh.
skyline. What an interesting city.
Philadelphia.
Ah! Okay, real.
I like it.
Make a note here. That. The way to put text. So I'll put it up here. Oh. Philly.
Man, we're all just zooming around this document.
Yep. We are gonna be in Philly.
Sorry, I've
so I'll
been
end up-
doing promotional pushes, so that's why I'm like, what document? Yes, okay, I'm here now.
I think are both of you originally from Philly?
I went to the Liberty Bell once.
I've been to the airport.
I'm from the opposite side of the state. I'm like literally I'm in Erie area, so
Oh.
like
Yeah.
I'll be visiting Philly in December.
Okay. Mo, for
So-
some reason, I thought you were originally from there because you're.
I'm from Texas and Florida. I my blood is made of soupy water, so
Texorita, if you will.
Texarita. Mm-hmm.
Or Ida.
All right. So
Tex
that-
Rider.
That takes us to the next question.
Floex.
What do we want? What makes this city unusual or unique? Now that there's also other is for a lot of these things we can go with. Oh, we'll go with something like this. We can also go. Yeah, let's go ahead and make it something totally different. Advanced tech. Was there a dimensional rift, organized crime, a pariah ghetto, scarred by disaster, or something else?
kind of like the idea of a dimensional rift. It just
I do
seems-
too.
That sounds really cool to me.
Dimensional Rifts always end up in New York. It's about time they end up in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
for
why is it
real.
always got to be New York or Los Angeles? It could be Philly for once.
Yeah, just one
Dimensional
time.
rift in Philadelphia. That's what we all want.
Yeah.
The Liberty Bell is the Dimensional Rift.
Oh my god!
Oh
yes.
Jesus.
There's
Bow.
just like how there's a crack.
find
That's
it
how
right
you.
now.
That's how you open it. Every time you ring the bell, it opens.
Yeah.
That's what Nicolas
just like-
Cage figured that out.
Damn you, Nicolas Cage!
The same way there's a crack in the Liberty Bell, there's a crack in the skyline of Philadelphia.
Oh man,
Yes.
Oh,
that's good.
we want to do that?
Yes.
Hell yes! I think there's a place we can write that down.
Somebody
Um,
hit the Liberty Bell and it actually created
Yeah, it's
that rift
SEO6.
because it is actually alien technology.
I threw that one down there. So truths. So you'll notice on that second page of the one, there's a place for truths. There's a crack in the sky that mirrors the Liberty Bell trademark.
Thank you for putting the TM in there.
It's important.
Just in case.
Just
That
in
is
case.
the dimensional. I don't want Uncle Sam suing me.
Just in case the mayor of Philadelphia sees this.
I'm looking at some of these things. All I'm thinking of is Bill Burr's very famous going off on the Philly crowds for 8 minutes.
I mean,
I don't know.
good for Bill Burr.
I don't know if you've heard that.
I've seen a lot of his stuff, but I have never seen that.
It's the crowd over there at Philly was like booing, being a pain in the butt to the previous comedians. He just gets up there and just drops verbal abuse on the entire city for 8 minutes, and
As
he
they
wins
deserve.
He wins them over. There's a point like, look, your biggest sports hero. He's not even real. Rocky's not a real person. It's just this whole thing, and he just announced how many minutes he had left. He's like, no, fuck you. You're off on like for 8 minutes just, and the crowd loved it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
So some of that stuff we might have probably know it better. Things like the Bad Neighborhood Commercial Center, some of that stuff. We can get real world stuff for that. If we go down to that second page, what are 2 to 3 words that best describes how we want this Philadelphia to feel?
I would like diverse, please, as one of them.
I'm good with
Hell
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the second page.
Bustling.
Yeah.
Bustling?
Bustling is something
Bustling.
that Philly is not as well. So we can go with
For
that.
real.
Could
Oh,
we?
is there a lot more going on now in it? So yeah, we can have it be more bustling, or
Yeah, now that
Yeah.
there's a dimensional rift.
could the other thing be verdant, like, but not in like a
Oh, please.
planned, not in a planned way, but in like the rift makes a lot of like what was like street grass, just be like, this is a beautiful tropical-esque bush now that we
Please.
don't want to be there. This is destroying our infrastructure. These
The
plants.
rift cause botanical guerrilla. Oh, is it called guerrilla flowering or guerrilla?
Oh yeah, guerrilla farming or whatever
Yeah.
it's
Girl,
called.
yeah.
Okay. Is M. Night Shyamalan from Philadelphia?
Yes.
Good for
Okay.
him.
This is
You have to
this is
say
like
it
the
like this.
this is like the happening. This is like the happening.
He did a couple of movies.
He my
He did the bad avatars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Happening is honestly one of the hardest I've ever laughed at a movie. Like, the entire theater gave up on that film fairly early on.
my friend is an extra in that.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure he was the guy that gets run over by a lawnmower.
Oh! He's one of my favorite people in that movie. I never do this in a theater. I stood up and I just went, "Oh, show it! Show it! Show it!" And it hit him. I went, "Ah!" I just like screamed out.
He was in that scene. I can't remember if he was that guy or if he was a different person, but
I hope
he was in
the
that scene.
lawnmower guy because I was obnoxious in the movie theater and nobody cared for all that.
I love that movie. Fuck you.
He also did a bunch of weird recent ones like Glass and
Old.
Shattered.
Which was filmed at the comic shop right around the corner from my house.
Oh wow!
The more you know.
You get out there to see Samuel L. Jackson?
No, I wasn't aware that it was happening.
All right. How common do we want powered heroes to be? Are they everywhere? You cross paths from time to time? I saw one once or something.
I'd say cross paths from time to time. Like, can we put in something in the other field where it's like it's more recent since the crack happened?
Oh, like the craft caused like more people to develop powers, or
I think before this they were like not as like they're like within the woodwork, and then the crack happened, and then superheroes were like, this is my chance, and like fled and like zoomed to Philadelphia. So like there are more of them there now than there used to be.
oh, so they decided to like
They congregated here.
They're like, oh yes, the rift we must
They-
go to.
They superhero gentrified Philadelphia.
That sounds exactly like Philadelphia, honestly.
I like it.
I love that.
I was gonna say, could we have like other be like something like they are very maybe not scorned, but like to kind of fit the Philly vibe.
Oh, everyone hates us. all
Everyone
the time.
hates
But that's the
superheroes.
same. They hate everyone all the time.
But not necessarily because they're superheroes, just because they are now in Philly and they don't want them
Yeah.
there. Like
Yeah,
like
that's
hipsters.
we're from Philly, we can deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
I feel like that's 2 questions from now. How does the general public feel about powered
Oh, fair
heroes?
enough. Yeah.
Well, no, I think there could be a little bit of a difference, especially because the way you said it's almost like there were our heroes. They're like he was here. He's always been here. He's fine. You, where you from?
Yeah.
I can
You're
That
cool.
accent? You from Georgia?
Fuck you. Get out of here.
I can imagine,
Yeah.
I can
I mean-
imagine like the locals are like, why do we need superheroes? We got Gritty. We don't need superheroes.
Yo,
Gritty
yo,
has
Gritty.
superpowers now.
yo, Gritty is seriously
Also, isn't it
all
2010?
powerful.
It's
Oh,
like
I
we're
lo-
gonna
I
have
love
we
Gritty.
have the Philly fanatic, and we will have Gritty in about 10 years.
yeah, true.
Question. In Philly, do you have a version? So my entire extended family is in Michigan. Almost my entire. And they live like my mother's side and most of my father's side live fairly close over the Indiana border, but they have a thing they call FIPS because they live on a lake. It's fucking Illinois people. Because like when they come in there, I'm like, I am a FIP, but I've been coming here my entire life. I am not one of them.
We just call those people from Jersey.
It's from Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, I lived in Jersey for 3 years.
I grew up there.
You know, Wisconsinites used to call me, right, when I went to school? Fib. Fucking Illinois bastard. Fun times.
Oh yeah.
Interstate warring.
For me, they just call me upstate, which as far as I'm concerned is a slur.
Ah.
I just live in Texas, so either everybody dunks on us.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Florida! Yay!
I used to live in
Yeah.
Florida, so like I know how that is. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, if you raise your hand in this, it tells you. Not now. Ah. I've never raised my hand in Zoom before.
Like, did something pop up? I know there's a thing you can hit.
No, like I raised my hand, this little thing came up, and this little like thing says you raised your hand. I'm like,
Oh, mine doesn't have the tracking software, I guess. Come on.
it's because maybe it's from using my iPad, but like I'm like,
Oh,
oh, that's
that'll-
not
Oh
that'll do
yeah, it's Apple.
How often do
Uh,
superpowered villains menace this city? Villain of the week every few months or a rare appearance?
I'd say villain a week because the crack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think because it's drawing in all the powered people, good and bad at this point.
Mhm.
I agree.
And also, it'd be weird if there were superheroes crawling up everywhere, and it was just like, what are you all doing here? Policing the littering, checking
I
in
don't
on
know.
the plants.
Wait
If
for
there's not a
something
villain
amazing,
everywhere,
I guess.
Also, I don't want to get too meta here, but it could be some of these villains were hiding their powers or whatever. And then and then as soon as all these superheroes from out of Philly started showing up, these people from Philly were like, fuck these superheroes. I'm a villain now.
If you want to get really deep
Great
with it, it's like
backstory.
the villains think they're the heroes because they're attacking the out of towners.
there you go.
Isn't Philly the one that your sports stadium has a jail in it because of how the fans are?
I think aren't sports stadiums like cruise ships where there has to be like a
Yeah,
morgue, a
there's a
jail, and a
brig,
judge in all
yeah.
of them?
Philadelphia is the only city that when they win a Super Bowl, they destroy their city.
Yeah.
No, that's every city.
So that's literally everyone.
Every city is just like they're getting ready to grease up those fire poles or light poles so that people don't climb up them.
Now, so the question here is, I kind of want to possibly answer the next one twice because I think Philly sees them differently, possibly, than the rest of the country. The rest of the country could have think the same thing or something different. I would like to answer this for Philly and for the rest of the country on how does the general public feel about powered heroes.
I think, as we said before, I think Philly likes the Philly originals.
That's what the villains are called.
Yeah.
The Philly
And you
originals.
can become adopted into Philly if like something happens.
You gotta really buy in.
Yeah.
though.
Like
You
like
really gotta buy
if you're a
in.
New York superhero and you like fight a big rat man, people are like, we claim you. You weren't born in Wisconsin. You're born in that's my mom's least favorite thing because
You know,
she's from Brooklyn. Whenever a writer or a like a band says they're from Brooklyn, she's always like, I'm from she doesn't have an accent, but she's like, I'm from fucking Brooklyn. If you were from Brooklyn, I would remember you. And I don't remember you.
Funny you
Okay.
said that about the rat because there's literally a truck that's a giant rat in Philly that is
Oh.
owned by the union, and they drive around and they set up these big inflatable rats at construction sites that aren't using union labor.
We have that. And when I was a kid, the rat has like STIs, as far as I can tell. And when I was a kid, I didn't know what union busting was. I was a child. So I just thought they were like protesting rat STDs. Just like, we don't stand for rat STIs.
All right,
Get out.
I just had an idea about how the public feels about the heroes. So the Philadelphians, native Philadelphians, are kind of like disgusted by it because like they're out of town, blah blah blah. What if there's like some Jeff Bezos style corporate guy who is like basically selling it to the rest of the country? Like, these people are doing good. They're cleaning up the city. They're like making things better, and he's the one basically. Because otherwise, why
The
would
guy
the
who owns
heroes
the
still be
Philadelphia
here?
Post.
The other guys, otherwise, why would the heroes be there? They'd be driven out of town by the natives, but not natives, but like the native Philadelphians, like with shotguns and axes and stuff. So you'd
Classic
have
Philly.
So the
Shotguns
CEO of
and axes.
Comcast.
Comcast or
I feel like the rest of America has to be like they're great thing because I honestly I can't see America doing a respected but wary thing. Like,
Yeah.
we would just be in tabloids immediately.
there's a. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I went to a conference a while ago where there was like the head of marketing for all the Philadelphia teams is like one dude basically. So it's like it'd be like the guy that owns, like, what is it?
He owns the Philadelphia Flyers. It's a real conflict of
The-
interest.
He owns the Flyers, and he owns like, you know how like the Maras own like the Jets and like a bunch of other football teams. Like it's a big name family that owns everything. He's like, oh, I like heroes. I'm gonna support this and fund this.
Yeah.
Steve, it looks like you're in the truths box. Do you want to go ahead and put those in the truth box?
I
Sorry,
am-
I got pretty wordy with that.
Oh, or yeah, I can. So it looks like, rest of the country loves them. We also have native Philly heroes are liked, others aren't, can be adopted, and we have a CEO of a company who's basically doing PR for supers, a little bit of the boys.
Yeah, like Bosch, like Bot.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, very much.
So are we the baddies? Because
Yeah. And now
that
we have
show
We're
is
just
We're
teenagers.
trying not to be. We're trying
That's
not to be.
what
We're
we have to
teenagers.
figure out.
We're-
I like that
We'll be
actually.
playing
That's
teenagers, so like be like, but no,
It's a new
you'll be
generation
like
of heroes.
What's their name? Stardust. Or is it Stardust?
Starfire?
Starlight.
Starfire.
Starlight.
Starlight. That's right.
Oh.
Where she like really
Moon Knight.
bought into the lie, and then
Mm-hmm.
do we want to have, not all of them by any means, but do we want to have like essentially corporate sponsored superheroes being some of them?
Tiger Bunny.
absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
I want a fucking superhero that is wearing a Pat's cheesesteak outfit. I want a Pat's cheesesteak superhero. And he's
Yeah.
actually a villain because fuck that place.
Does he do advertisements after each thing? He like
Yeah.
turns and like looks
He
at the
turns
camera
and
and
pulls
like,
a
hey.
cheesesteak out of his pocket and like takes a big bite on camera.
They look like NASCAR cars.
If he's someone who can actually like molecular control and create things,
Oh,
he's
that would
literally
be
just
so good.
boom. And like that when Green Lantern used to use like a giant boxing glove, just a giant like cheesesteak, falls onto somebody.
That'd be amazing.
Pats. The only cheesesteak that takes a bite out of crime.
Then they'd have to
You
have their
can't sue us.
alternate guy, Geno's, but
How'd the Pat's cheesesteak guy die? Well, turns out that even if you're a superhero, cholesterol in your veins is bad.
yeah.
He didn't have to eat them. We don't know why. He just insisted on it. He was like, I'm staking my reputation on Pats. I have to eat it.
All right. For the authorities, how do they feel about powered heroes?
I think they're a little bit. I'm sorry. I've been monopolizing this. Everyone, someone else say something.
Well, I feel like not positive.
Loose cannons?
I was thinking the loose cannons.
Because like the corporate ones could like be under the thumb of the law in a way, like because money and the rich money can pay off the cops because it can.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like other ones are like, you don't have a sponsor. I don't know what to do with you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like I could see that being like, I don't know what the term or whatever it is, but like, yeah, the
Conflict of
cops-
interest.
Well, I was thinking like the cops like taking advantage or
It's abuse
whatever,
of power.
abusing their power with supers that aren't sponsored or don't have like corporate protections or whatever, and like even
because
trying to bribe them to like do things like off the books
It's
with
like,
them
ooh,
and shit like that.
your
'Cause
windows are in
if you
danger.
do something and they wanted their people to do it, it makes their people look bad. So then you've got a
Mhm.
corporation coming out, or like using the police to do. All right, up at the top of that second page, how does the media portray powered heroes?
I think it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you talking about local media or national media?
We'll go national, but here, Obey a Raven. If you ask 10 people in Philly what are the best cheesesteak, you get 10 different answers, and none of them would be Pat's or G.
Yes, that is 100% accurate.
Yeah, we'll probably go with because I think we've got it that there's some ambivalence in Philly itself, so we're looking more the national media because that will still have draw in here.
I'd say centers of controversy, like some
Mhm.
media outlets love them. Then you have like the Daily Globe in New York that's like superheroes are menaces. They cause all these trouble.
I can see Tucker. I can see Tucker Carlson having a whole world of superheroes.
Yep.
Wait, you said Tucker Carlson would be which one for them or against?
You would just have a
Tucker Carlson
rant.
be against like they don't know what we don't need heroes. We have our boys in blue. Blah 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 blah.
I might take that as an opportunity to do a Tucker Carlson bullshit impression, not like a vocal impression, but just his way of just completely dumping all sorts of bullshit on people.
If we have
Um,
the police, why do we need the superheroes?
They should sign up for the police if they really want to do that.
If they really want to
Unless
help us,
they're working
They'd
for
get
the
sponsorship.
corporation.
if
Yeah.
they really want to help
Oh.
us, why aren't they sponsored by the corporations? Why are they
Fox-
working on their own terms?
Our version of Fox News has its superheroes.
Oh God,
Of
please!
course they do. Of course
This
they
is too
do.
close to real life, bro.
We've gotten real meta.
I want to X card that on the fact that it makes my heart hurt.
Immediately.
It makes my heart hurt and it's depressing. All right, then how often do superheroes die in the line of duty?
This
Guess
seems
that
like a
would
pretty
depend, right?
new development. I think supers are probably like a newer thing, like in the last 20 years. So probably not as often as we hear about, or like,
is that like
or
it
vice
happens?
versa.
Oh,
It
what if
happens
it's
every now and again?
what if it's very often, but it's like almost like a
Yes.
cover up?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Like
to get
the
at.
corporations are basically removing information about people,
Oh,
wiping
no.
people's records and stuff when they die
No,
to try
Power
and
Ma-
prevent them
Power
from.
Man
Syndrome.
retired.
no. Instead of like or instead of saying they passed away, they find a new person to take the mantle
Oh yeah, that
that
too.
looks similar.
Yes.
And instead of ever like they die all the time, but like this Captain Philly that was here last week is not this Captain Philly, but they don't tell you that.
There's
Captain
definitely
Philly
Captain Philly.
Captain Philly died fighting Fearmonger, but this new Captain Philly is gonna fight him next time.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out on this. Hear me out. What if the corporate superheroes, only like 20% of them actually have powers? The rest are just kind of like figureheads. They're strong and like wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of
Only
wrestling,
some have superpowers, some, but only about 20% have superpowers.
We always get back to wrestling somehow.
I'm so jealous of you guys. I really am.
I'm
I
so
wanted to be on this.
excited.
I have no idea what's happening.
We're doing wrestling on
Oh,
Tuesday.
I thought maybe there was like a live wrestling event heading to near where you were, and I was like, cool beans.
I got these tattoo sleeves for my gimmick.
Nice.
I'm waiting for my mask still.
I like that.
All right. Are there any other truths that we want to add? So do we like what we've got here so far? Is there anything else we want to add to it? Is there anything looking back you go, I don't know?
The crack is growing.
I want to say the crack is growing at an exponential rate, and it's still quite slow,
Mhm.
but
It's
compared to
You
10
notice
years
it.
ago, it's like 10 times faster.
You look up and
Yeah.
you're like, it's like when you go to the beach after a few years and you're like, Jesus Christ, I remember that sand line from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It did. It went away a lot in the last like 2 years, huh?
It's like your uncle's hairline. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh.
Is there something for like super recent? Like I was gonna say, like, what if in the past like week, like right before we start,
That will
we
be
noted-
that'll be in the microscope. But yeah.
Okay,
go
all right,
Go
all
ahead
right,
and
then
say
never
it
mind.
if you've got an idea, if you want to.
I was just thinking like we
Um,
started to see like a glowing color in the center of the rift.
I think there should also be something. I hate to I add on more to this, but what if there's like a growing like villain support movement, like edgelord group type thing?
Stain supporters.
Yes.
It's oh god, it's kind of like the supporters of serial killers back in the 1970s, 1980s, where like they like fangirls.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like a good
Marriage
comparison,
proposals coming in.
The
left
Charles
and right.
Manson family.
The what is his name? The Satan Ripper.
The Green River
Son of Sam.
killer.
No, it was the Hispanic guy who did a murder spree in the 1970s
Ramirez?
in LA.
In LA.
Ramirez,
LA, yeah.
Richard Ramirez, the Night
Richard
Stalker.
Ramirez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Richard
like I
Ramirez.
watched a documentary on him, and people were women were in love with him.
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
less
I
so when
could
they got to
change
meet him
him.
in person because he smelled like leather, wet leather.
Ew,
Ugh.
that's a disgusting
Yeah,
fact.
he was
I
like he
didn't
was like
Yeah.
he was like he was definitely okay looking for a serial killer in his pictures, just because like I think I heard people on the last podcast on the left once say Ted Bundy is not handsome; he's Republican handsome, which I think is fine. That he is Republican.
don't
handsome.
Technically, for a serial killer, that's gorgeous. Not just good looking. Like the other ones, kind of bring the bar.
I feel like Richard Ramirez was definitely like pretty okay looking for a serial killer, but smell wise, 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10 do not.
It's hard to get a 0.
You're an Illinois
serial killer, he
9,
was
but a
a 10?
California 6.
Jesus Christ. And a Philly 14.
I'm adopting. Philly is now my home. How dare you?
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so now that can take us on to whatever this conventional rift is doing. If we want to come up with a name for it. What year did it appear?
1991.
Was it, I was gonna say, was it with the Y2K in 1999? To the 2000, like, because remember there's like a big old 2000 like
What if it
Y2K
was
scare?
something
Like-
with the computers caused it, like the Y2K bug thing? Maybe
What about 1998? That it like came just right before, so people were like, "Can we blame this on Y2K? Is this because of Y2K?" It's a little early.
I kind of like that.
I like that a lot.
Mhm.
1998, like
People blame it on the .com bubble.
Mm.
Is there a name for it?
the Rift.
Or just called it the Rift?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's no real. Everybody just refers to it as the Rift. There's probably like some scientific name that some high-paid scientist has given it, but everybody just calls it the Rift.
Well, I
And-
mean, if we want to go real Philly, we could just call it that John up there.
The what?
That
that
John.
that John up there.
JAWN?
Yeah.
That John up there.
Oh, hold on, I got Philadelphia slang.
I mean, we could get crude, and people are like, "Have you seen the gash today?" It is technically accurate. It's like a big cut.
I don't hate that. I don't hate it.
There's so many jokes I want to make about that, though, that I'm like, oh, I won't.
Yeah.
True. All right, we're reining it in.
All right. What's the fundamental nature of that nether realm?
Has anyone ever gone to it? Is the question.
I think unexplored.
Ooh.
I like the idea that we don't know because nobody has actually ever gotten into it.
Things come out, nothing goes in.
I've never played this before. I don't know anything about it. What is the Nether Realm?
Oh, nether realm
The
literally
rift.
just means through the rift, there's a dangerous plane of existence filled with something.
Okay, that's what I
it,
assumed.
It could be kind of whatever.
Okay.
So it's one that nobody's been to. Well, but stuff comes out of it. So let's talk about what
Nobody's.
comes out of it.
Let's say nobody's ever come back from it.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever come back
Yes.
from it.
There have probably been dozens of people that have tried like sponsorships and stuff that have gone, but
This time it's gonna work out.
yeah,
R.I.P.
this time
the
a bunch
Clone
of
Coffee
teenagers are going
trip.
to fly through that crack.
All right,
R.I.P. the
what
clone
comes
coffee
out
trip.
of it?
I kind of like the idea that maybe the Superman of our world went in and never came back, and that was the last expedition.
Oh, well, he did come back technically. They just put his face on a new person.
Oh.
Oh man!
And the corporation that sponsored him now has like exclusive rights to like future Netherrealm travel.
I'm
And
getting
they're-
some very like 1950s Russia space
Yeah,
journey.
and they're
vibes.
getting like massive billions of dollars in grants from the government to build these like new interdimensional travel vehicles because they've lied about their Superman.
Yeah, but I
coming
love the
back.
idea that they're getting all this money, but they can't actually, like, none of it actually works.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I know we're still talking about stuff. I'm just
Uh-huh.
getting like a what do they call it? The Outsider? No, that's not the Outsider. I'm thinking of
The
playbooks
Doomed?
already. No.
The Doomed or the
It's the one from space.
Outsider.
It is the Outsider. Yeah, I'm thinking of an Outsider character now, and I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna think about that yet, but it's in there now.
Yeah, when we get there, that's one of the reasons I didn't put all of them on there, because what we decide will then make some of those other ones will alter and put specific things in there. And actually, which one was the one, Steve, you said you were interested in? Was it the one attached to the corporation?
No, to
Government
the
agency?
yeah, which
Change
is
begets change.
yeah, the soldier is what I was looking at. But I'm getting more ideas, so this is
Yeah.
interesting.
So-
What's the next question? We can move on now.
Yeah, I'll say, what kind of things come out of it? So we've determined that people go in, they don't come back. The actual Superman of this world went in, did not come back, but they have tried to cover it up. But they probably didn't have anybody that powerful, so they've had to like do something to make him or her seem less powerful than they actually are. Yeah,
well,
that'll be
cheesesteaks
fun.
is the obvious answer.
The what?
The fucking Rift drops cheesesteaks into Philly. That's the obvious answer.
What about the things that harm people? Is it like zombie cheesesteaks?
They drop on the ground and then get up, and then they just.
Carnivorous cheesesteaks.
Oh my god! All right, we're getting into cartoon territory.
Yeah.
As far as what comes out of the rift, I would say it's like mostly monsters. Really, would seem like the best one.
Yeah.
That gives us a lot of room to work with.
Because you can do a lot with monsters.
Yeah.
Just being elves is pretty limited.
I know I have a lot of things that I've said, but what if the monsters like grow on like in the city because of, I don't know, some kind of
Wait, so we get kaiju?
maybe, I'm not sure. Like I was thinking like maybe there's something that's coming out of the rift.
Kind of
And-
like a
and-
miraculous ladybug situation, but like it's not a human. It's just like some guy pops out and it's like, suddenly I'm way more powerful. Wow.
Yeah, like I was thinking like over the years as the rift has gotten bigger, we've had more common occurrences of these like not randomly spawning, but just kind of like mutated monsters that just kind of like grow out of what is there.
Mhm.
I don't know like if there's some kind of like radiation or whatever, coming out of the thing. but
It's
that's just an
causing
idea.
it is causing all that greenery. We already talked about that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it could be somehow connected with the life that it's creating in the city.
Like it's
and then-
emanating life force from the rift and it's growing things that don't have any sentience. Or
That also puts us in a really interesting situation in which there are times to survive, supervillains and heroes will work together.
I like it.
Because
even the
if it's
corporate sponsored ones.
Yeah, if it's a monster that's just wrecking all sorts of shit, that
All hands on deck.
yeah. Like there might be truces where it's like, listen, you're not going to try to arrest us after this, but they're just because like otherwise you're basically they'll flee when you're like, I would like you to stay.
Yeah, I'm just circling back to that little shop of horrors where like maybe like the Bartram's Garden or like Longwood Gardens, there's just a giant fucking like Venus flytrap that just mutated out of this.
And it's definitely not all monster attacks. It's just occasionally a really big monster shows up. It's like, oh boy, we need everybody.
Sometimes it's just like a really big caterpillar, and it's just like completely innocuous, just huge.
Yeah.
Becomes
They
a tourist
set
attraction.
off the villain tornado siren when that happens, where it's like
Hilarious,
villains.
thank you so much for the subs.
Ooh, thank you.
All right, that seems awesome. Anything else with the NetherRealm? Or does that seem like we pretty much got it?
Has there been anybody sentient like that, like coming out yet that we know of?
I mean, anything's possible, especially because the rift is changing and growing.
Maybe some sentient, like near humans have come out, but the corporations have kept it, and whoever's in charge has kept it secret. So they
Oh,
have had life come
like
out,
an
but
Area
no,
51 situation.
yeah. And maybe they've even disguised them as some of their corporate superheroes.
Oh my god. That's
What
some
else
good
is the
shit,
government
Steve.
hiding?
That's some good shit.
This is some conspiracy theory.
That's some good
theory.
shit, Steve.
We're going to be attacking capitalism, folks.
Oh man, I'm into it. Anything to smash that fucking capitalism, baby.
How do we become the conspiracy theorist powers? How do I obtain these?
Is that one of the playbooks?
I don't think it is, but if it was, I'd already be the question. I would figure it out. I like him.
You'd be the hero of the question? And
Yes,
Ayn
I would
Rand-
just.
an Ayn
Yeah.
Rand fanatic?
Oh god.
Oh, is he an Ayn Rand fanatic? I only know him from the cartoons.
Yeah,
We're not
he-
allowed to talk about Ayn Rand on this. That's my X card right there. That's my X card.
Because I get
That
angry.
is your line.
But
I-
I think that's good for the riff. Does anybody else have any other ideas?
And so the nature of the nether realms, we don't know anything about, right? So we're just skipping that question. Is that right?
Yeah, so that right now stays in unknown. That will be discovered. And then we talked a little bit about possibly a Tucker Carlson style media personality. I would not mind fleshing that out just a little bit.
Ooh, there's a whole section down here.
Yeah, so I went ahead and put that in there because I'm like, I want to make us hate this person the way I hate Tucker Carlson. I want this would be a great thing to come back. Anybody idea for a name?
Tucker
Carson
Carlson.
Tucker.
I was thinking fucker Carlson, but
Carson Tucker.
Carlson.
Carl Tucker.
Carl Tucker.
I think we have to pick a whiter name.
Carson Tucker.
Pretty white. That's a pretty white
Tuck,
name.
That's
Tuck
true.
Carlson? Tuck Carlson? Is that anything?
Chuck
his-
Carlson?
No,
Tuck
Tuck, as in
Carlson.
like you know,
No,
like
I'm trying to like play off of that. Like
oh, that is
Chuck.
Chuck Carlson.
because he's probably like that like really friendly guy. Like he's trying to give off maybe like a little like the energy is Mr. Rogers, but the mindset is Tucker Carlson.
Mm.
Where he's like
Chuck
trying
Tart.
to like Chuck Tart.
Oh, that stuff where he like sounds really nice if you're not listening to the words,
Yeah.
but underneath it is that like, yeah, fundamentally like. I think you probably got that. What do we want to make him like a pundit?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
something like
absolutely.
that.
The
What if
media they
he-
work for-
What if he started as a pundit, like, or not? Actually, I guess answer the question. What the fuck is a pundit? Is that just like a talking? That's just like a talking.
Yeah,
head.
it's one. They're not giving the news; they're giving their opinion. Fox
Right.
News likes to make their pundits seem like newscasters, is why people believe them because that's the news. No, that's a pundit.
Yeah, that's what I
That's an-
thought.
I have an idea. He used to be a legitimate reporter, think like Woodward and Bernstein in the 70s.
That's what I was
and
gonna
now
say,
he's
yeah.
just lost all semblance of respectability except for the audience of this news organization.
Yeah,
because
Rogan.
he married a woman or a man or whoever that was working at the corporation that sponsors the supers.
I love it.
Or
That's
maybe
Tucker
maybe
Carlson.
he hasn't married him. Maybe he's related to one that received a high up position or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. We want him in print, radio, television, or internet.
TV.
TV.
He's on television, but he also has a morning radio show.
And a
They all do.
TikTok.
So like a
And
Rush Limbaugh
TikTok.
type.
He's
A
definitely got a
little bit of
TikTok.
everything. To be honest,
no.
some of them do.
True,
But,
but no.
Like they'll do like a really good Instagram and like
What's the source of their greatest bias? Past encounter, religious upbringing, missed opportunity, shameful mistake, or something else?
oh,
I'd say money. Like
What if we
they're
go?
paid.
What if we go full Tucker Carlson and his mom left to become the first superhero?
Oh,
Because that's Tucker Carlson's backstory. His mom
Is a
broke up the
superhero?
family to become a lesbian or just to not be married
I did
to
not
Tucker
know that.
Carlson's
Holy
She's the
dad.
shit.
first lesbian.
She was the first
he
lesbian.
was the first lesbian.
they weren't roommates after all.
They were.
That's not what history's going
Yeah.
to say.
Dad, why is Aunt Donna over again?
Or she just got divorced from Tucker Carlson's dad. I don't remember. But then his dad remarried a TV dinner magnate, and that's where all of Tucker Carlson's
Swanson
money
family.
comes from.
Swanson family. Yeah.
Yes.
Swanson family, yeah.
How
I was
about
gonna-
how about she became the first corporate superhero?
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
And died very publicly, so they couldn't cover it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
It was like in the early era of the corporate spot of the corporate heroes,
Yeah.
and they didn't think, oh, no one's gonna die because they're super. And she like got obliterated live on TV, like just
Yeah.
Nice.
Challenger.
Red
I missed something because I was talking to my girlfriend. What the fuck is Mr. Rogers doing next to Tucker Carlson's
Oh.
name?
It's Mr. Rogers' energy. But then
The very calm, very like,
Like,
I want to be
hey.
your neighbor, but like
Yeah.
but like so the tone and like all that, but Tucker Carlson's like words
Belief
and, like,
systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the reasonable
Is Mr.
tone with the completely unreasonable ideas,
Okay.
which brings some people in. Like he's doing the opposite of, I'm going to
Is Mr.
stoke people's
Rogers
hate.
from Philadelphia or Pittsburgh?
I don't think he's from Philly.
Mr.
Google.
Rogers is from Pittsburgh, I believe.
Okay,
Close
I
enough.
knew he's from Pennsylvania, but
All right,
So with the mom breaking up the family, shit, I had something I wanted to say about that, but now I can't remember what it was. So never mind.
if you think about it, we can come back. How does he cover heroes in his work?
Probably opportunistic or political maneuvering, definitely
yeah.
manipulating even.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I can put this stuff on there. Rat bastard. All right. Yeah, it sounds like we're probably pretty good for some of this flavor. We're probably good to move over.
I have
to,
an idea.
Yep.
And I know this is probably playing in too many tropes, but what if he's secretly superpowered and doesn't want to admit it?
Oh, and then he can become a villain later on.
And the opening of the rift is making his powers stronger and less easy, and it's harder to control them.
I like that idea, but I also don't like the idea of a Tucker Carlson superhero,
Super villain, technically.
super powered person.
Super villain. He's the big bad.
I like the idea of a person like him being actually literally helpless because
He's
they
gotta have something.
because they are projecting everything out of rage and like
Okay.
maybe because of his mother projecting like this like disdain almost for like non-corporate sponsored superheroes or something because I don't know out of
I like that.
out of a wishfulness, you know, like he wishes he missed out on the opportunity or something like that.
All right. All right. I'm very excited about what we're building so far for the world. At this point, if you want to go back to the world information, we can open up Microscope.
Okay.
I did make a note of the other things that we can end up using to like create the same way that we did those ones. Which some of that stuff if we end up creating, we might later on pull it out and then make those decisions. So what I really like about this aspect is y'all are like these give me so many more ideas and so many more interesting things than if just one person sat down and came up with it, and it's just like it's delicious. So the first thing we'll do is palettes. Palettes are split into two things. What we would like, the kind of things we would like to see, and what we don't want to see, kind of in the world itself. And this can also, I mean, there's like the lines and veils and such, which I sent the link for. I don't know if everyone had an opportunity to take a look at that already.
I didn't add anything because I think everything was covered.
Yeah. And we'll take a look. 'Cause I think today, since we're not really getting into the nitty gritty today, it should be kind of fine. Let me just pop that up real quick. Yeah, so veils for the okay with romance, hardline, sexual assault, that's my always. Veils, consensual sexual activity, which would be really weird if we didn't have a veil there. Harm to children, harm to animals. Those are things, it's like fade to black. This stuff can be changed between now and next time. If anybody goes through and goes, yeah, I want something a little further, you can also add stuff to it.
I'm adding a thing because I don't do snakes at all.
No snakes. That's actually probably a good thing to make because like the whole throwing out of stuff makes that like a thing that could easily pop in the head. So awesome.
Other reptiles I'm completely fine with. They have legs. I love them.
I don't have the document open, but can we not have a worldwide pandemic come from the rift?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Agreed.
for reasons.
Agreed.
Pandemic has been added. And at this point, these are a living document. What I'll try to do is go over this at least in the 15 minutes before we go on, or even at the beginning. Each time, if things get added or changed, cool. If anybody wants to go in, basically, wherever you want to put it, if it's more restrictive than is currently set, if something is set, those are the things we want to look at. You decide soft line or hard line on something, feel free again to add, change, whatever. And try to make that part of our opening each time, just to go through and look at it so we can see if people want to add things. All right,
And
so
I know
we,
oh, sorry. I was gonna ask one question
Go.
real quick. So because I know we're gonna play teenagers. How do y'all? And some of the questions do link to this when we get to character creation, which we're not there yet. I'm skipping like a 10 bajillion steps. I just because we're at the sheet now and I want to talk about it. How do y'all feel about like romance, like character, like connections and relationships and all that?
I know that some of the characters I was looking at, romance is integral to the character being built. I have no issue with that.
Okay.
I was the one who put okay with this on the sheet, so
Mhm.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, it's already on there, but
I can also
All right.
steal something I saw on a game I played last 2 weekends. There was something that the Gauntlet had added, which I thought was really kind of cool, where it went. All I should do is put this in here. Every player had a thing where you'd have your name, and then like romance with player characters, romance with NPCs, you would get to put for both of those.
Mhm.
Like, I'm cool with it. Talk to me first, or I'm not cool with it. You're basically able to do kind of set those levels that way.
yeah,
that
usually
could-
whenever I run my consent sheets, I usually put like a not for me channel or like a not for me area, and if people don't want romance or anything like that, they'll throw it in that area. So
Yeah, that not for me is the one all the way to the right that's lit up, and then the place right next to it is where you could put that.
I have too many tabs open. I hate it. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Sorry, I didn't even see that.
No worries.
But
So for our palette, the palette's basically saying we're gonna be looking at the history of the supers in the world, but particularly in the city. We'll end up deciding like, hey, what do we want to have bookend this particular thing, which is that thing you had like, what if something happens like shortly before? So with what we'll do is each player can basically add a thing to the yes or no, like what we want to see and what we don't want to see. So what we'll do is we can just go around, and each person can let us know kind of. Yeah, I think only one person can actually type in there at a time. So I can kind of be there. If each person wants, lets me know like one thing you either want to see or don't want to see, and we can kind of go around until we feel like we're good with what's there.
having me read, I gotta put my glasses. Hold on.
Okay.
And this is the history part.
Yeah. So yeah, this
focus.
is in the microscope. Well, this is the palette, which is like the third thing over.
Yeah, no, I know. I was wondering if. Oh, okay. This is before the turns.
Yeah, this is before that.
Okay.
I put the stuff down there for the actual playing of Microscope. So do we want to go? We can just go in the way I've got it here. Kirby, Sarah, Nessa, Steve, Mo. Either give us a thing you want to see or a thing you would not. You're like, that's not really something I want to. I'm not interested in having in.
Sorry. I think I would not. I mean, this is kind of, I guess, up to everybody else. I'm not hardlining or this as I don't want to see it, but I think that kind of not having severely impoverished areas in the city in this fictional city would be kind of nice.
Okay.
A nice change, even though I know we're still this whole campaign is going to be a hard anti-capitalist fight against corporations, but
can you see as I'm typing stuff in, by the way?
Yes.
yes.
All right.
Mhm.
All right, and we can just do one at a time. We can go around until we look at it and go, yeah, I think we're good.
Can I pass for mine? I'm still
Yeah.
I don't quite know it yet. What
no
I want
problem.
to see or what I don't.
And someone could just be like, this would be cool, or I see a lot of that stuff. I'm just not interested.
Man, this is harder than I thought it would
is.
be.
Yeah.
The thing is, if we don't have much on here, that's fine. This doesn't have to get like filled out to a certain degree. But some of it's just like, what do I think is cool about this kind of thing that I'd like? That could be something, or we can just end up going into the actual creating if we're not quite sure, and we can come back and add to it.
I have
Can we-
another one if anybody doesn't mind.
Sure.
Go for
Go
it.
for it.
What we want or what I want to see or what would be kind of cool would be some kind of antithetical maybe organization or maybe even corporation or something, I don't know, that is like making attempts to like support supers and other people. I don't know. I don't
Like a
have it fully
mutual
fleshed
aid?
out.
Like a-
Kind of
like a-
kind of like a mutual aid of like like maybe like a massive grassroots like mutual aid group across the entire country, but maybe it's like founded or started in Philly because this is
Mhm.
where the rift is.
Y'all can nix this if you like, but I feel like because this is the rift is otherworldly, and it's like it might like shake people's faith. There is a religious movement connected to the rift.
I mean, why not? I feel like if
So
the
I
rift
think-
existed, I would also go to worship it.
I don't want to say cult just yet, but I mean like
Oh, it's a cult.
Everything's
Oh,
a
yeah.
cult when you
Oh,
think
it's
about
a
Yeah.
cult.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, there's a very much like people gathering with the signs like the end is coming.
They call themselves gashers.
Ugh.
I would kind of not like to see like mythological people being real, like Thor and Hercules and all them. I'd rather that like just leave that to Marvel and all of them. I would rather have like
No
original
mythos,
stuff.
yeah.
No mythos stuff. That's a good term.
Yeah.
Now, does
Just-
that mean no folklore at all, or just like no like popularized?
No, like Thor
mythological?
superhero, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah, no, like how Hercules, Thor, Athena, all these popular names.
Okay.
Like if you want to pull a monster from mythology, that's cool. I really don't like seeing Thor and all them. It's like, eh.
Give me that idea. It's almost more interesting if the monsters and stuff were maybe influenced by other things like this that have happened before,
Yeah.
but you didn't have like gods and such necessarily walking around, or superheroes that people thought that are still around.
Yeah.
Like that?
Can I just want to for one thing not to have, I don't want an Akira style devastating act on the city. You get what I'm saying?
No absorption of everything.
But
I
every
don't
once in a
know
while,
what
just
Akira
have
is.
someone
No-
scream.
no
someone
major
scream.
disaster.
Canada! You just hear someone screaming it through the streets.
Like no devastating disaster.
Yeah.
I think
Imagine a superhero kind of went nuclear in the middle of the city, kind of thing. Was sort of what ends up happening in a.
yeah. Or like I'm also thinking about like the boys, because like to me the boys hit like really close to home on a lot of stuff, and it made it hard to watch. So it's like
Okay.
I don't want to.
Boys I
Yeah,
heard
that
was just
was-
a rough show in general.
It's
that-
it's good, but it's so rough.
It's too realistic to watch
Yeah.
just out of pure entertainment.
I
Yeah.
like it. The thing is, the one thing I know is they have made it less Garth Ennis than I'm
Yeah.
sure the comics. From what I've looked up, because Garth Ennis has a tendency just to go really
Garth
far
Ennis
because he can
is
get away with it.
wildly violent and just
Mhm.
decrepit. That man is horrifying.
Well, it also often breaks the tone of what had happened previously in his comics. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
always fit with the other stuff.
Um
Any other ideas for this, or do we want to go on?
I can't think of anything else. Like everything else that could come up or couldn't come up, I don't really see an issue with. To
I guess
me.
my one thing is I feel bad just saying no. No superheroes who are also serial killers or like
yes.
Yes.
it's just like if you can shoot lasers out of your
Yeah.
eyes, what joy do you get out of hunting people for sport?
And
Yeah.
don't feel bad because there are so many more options of stuff to go. If you're like, this is a kind of it's used a lot.
Yeah, I think that you're right. That is a trope that a lot of comics have hit on. Like Rising Stars did that, and like Invincible kind of does that, and it's like it gets hit a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also mostly just because I've been watching Criminal Minds for the last 8 days.
Jesus.
You've
I-
overdosed on serial
I
killers.
think you need to take a break.
No, it's the only thing that's making me do work at work. So we're
I
gonna
feel
keep-
that. I also watch documentaries while at work.
There you go.
I
can-
think I don't know if I want to see it or if I don't want to see it. I'm kind of debating because I like the idea, but when children find out they have powers, do they go to a school, or like a superheroes only school, or is it
Like
that's
a
corporate
UA
owned?
type thing.
Or like
Yeah.
you enter like a mentorship program or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that. Or if I
Big
don't
Brother
want
for
that.
superheroes.
I was about to say, yeah, I was about to say, what if the corporations have some kind of Big Brother's program where they essentially weed out who they don't want to like draft and sponsor and like train, and then like the rest of the kids that aren't chosen basically still have powers, but they just kind of get like left by the wayside.
Well,
Hmm.
we also said the corporations, only about 20% of them actually have powers. So what if there's just like a school that people go to be a corporate superhero, but it's more on your look and your personality
Like
than
an
it
art,
is.
like a military academy, but strictly for superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Like if
you
Boku no
enter
Hero
voluntarily. You
Academia
enter
had been more
voluntarily.
honest.
Yeah. God, the longer that show goes on, the more I'm like, this is not safe for children.
What
Get them
show?
out of there.
Which
My Hero
one?
Academia.
Oh.
My Hero Academia.
I've never watched it, but I hear people talk about it all the time.
I've been told
It-
to watch it
It's
for
fine.
superhero reasons.
It is one
Yeah.
of those shows where I'm like, if I was 12, I would go crazy for this.
I don't
I
know.
was
It's one.
I was never into like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, and like this is my first like time I've been in something like this. And I'm like, I don't know if this is my jam. I like it, but I don't. You know,
See, I got out of anime when Naruto came about. Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam.
here's a question: do we want Marvel and DC to exist in this world?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, do you mean the actual comics?
Like, is Superman
Okay.
a thing? Is Superman a thing? Is
Oh.
Spider-Man a thing?
I
Like,
feel like
not
it's
actual
like
heroes,
it's feel
but
like it's like
actual-
Power Man or something, you know, where it's like
Like-
similar,
Like a great
legally.
value knockoff.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
great value knockoff.
We've got the amazing Tarantula Man.
Yeah,
Well,
Rat Boy.
Like
And
we've already established that our Superman is dead or missing in the nether realm. So we have like allegories to them, but I don't think we specifically have them,
Yeah.
because like every superhero property has a Superman, everyone has a Batman, so we definitely have that archetype, but I don't think we have them.
Yeah,
I mean,
But
we could
I
even say
mean,
they're
like-
called Superman, but they're just not actually Superman.
Yeah.
Super
But I mean,
Man.
what I mean, like, do like the IPs of Marvel and DC exist? Would little kids read Spider-Man comic books in this universe?
Oh, why not?
Thrown out
That
there.
makes sense.
My special
I think-
thing is if they're not doing quite so well because there are all the there
Real.
are all the actual ones. There might be some that have real ones. The Corp has its own comic line.
Its own comic, yeah, the Corpo
Mhm.
comics.
They're not as big as as the real stuff.
They'd be like what Dark Horse is. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Image.
Or Image.
And it's
yeah.
Thanks.
the plucky upstarts that then kind of faded.
Put all the Rob Guillory comics in there. Speaking of which, hey Michael, real quick, you like comics? Have you ever read Chew?
I've heard of it. I've not read it. I haven't picked up much recently in the
There's
last
a-
bunch of years.
I just found out like not even 3 days ago that somebody is developing a Chew RPG.
Oh.
I've heard it's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
None of you are doctors, right?
No,
Mm-mm.
All right, cool.
Why?
I'm very curious.
That's a strange, strange question to just stop it.
It's well, I do the same thing with most stand-up comedians as well, where I'm just like, really quick, none of you are lawyers and or doctors, because I have several legal/medical questions that I need to get out. No, I have a burn on my wrist, and I was just picking at it. I was like,
Don't pick at it.
I know, but
Don't pick it.
It's itchy.
It just don't stop it.
Quick.
Put
Alright,
that
so
on a t-shirt.
I think we can do here, like, well, if we book in our history and then take a break, and then we can come back and do the microscope part of it. But so what's going to happen is we're going to have columns. Now, actually, if you see on the Millinote below board, they'll have a thing that says column. You pull those out. You can actually throw notes into those.
What? Huh? What?
So on the left hand side, are you all
Oh.
able to like pull those out onto the
Drag me. Cool. I'll drag it.
Okay.
Boop.
What I might do is go ahead and delete those for now, but you'll be pulling stuff out.
You-
We're gonna have there's 3 things in Microscope, and I think one of them, the scenes will probably use less, just because we're looking at like the stuff that's happened. Scenes like you've got periods, and periods are kind of big major events that happen. If you want to think of them kind of like big events that you might have for like think of like a company-wide crossover or even major storylines for a comic kind of thing. Underneath each of those periods, you are going to have events, like the things that happen, and those like the stuff they have in there. Like some example here, like one period might be mankind makes new life among the stars. That might be how we're going to bookend it first, like how it started, what's just kind of happened, because we're bringing it up to that point. Their last was like humanity stagnates, isolated and alone, and then the ending is a darker thing. We choose whether it's light or dark. Like, do things go well? Do things go poorly? And we'll give it like a color, which you can kind of pop on there, and then give like a red for dark or a blue for light. We want to determine what is the first period that happened. Like, if we're looking at the thing that may have started superheroes. And like the rift will probably be in there, but unless the rift causes them, we might want to go before that. And then maybe what's the big thing that had just happened in the city?
So, I know I talk a lot, and I apologize. I get really excited about this stuff.
How dare you?
I love world building is like my favorite thing in the world. So
I know.
So I was just thinking when you mentioned that, like supers, when the rift came, like what blah, blah blah blah. We already talked about the rift and all that, but what if something happened? Maybe this can be that or whatever. Like 50 years before, some like major, not global event, but like a major like regional or continental event happened, like a massive earthquake, or possibly something that happened during World War II, like one of the bombings in Japan or something
Hiroshima.
like that. Yeah,
Hiroshima's bomb started it. 1948. Yeah. Hiroshima's bomb.
I was thinking
the Hiroshima
That's
bomb is where the
45.
first. That's where
Hiroshima's
the first
bomb.
superheroes came from.
Well, what I was thinking was maybe that, but the way I was thinking was it shook something loose in the actual Earth that caused something ancient to like start to like rattle around, and maybe
Hiroshima and Nagasaki bomb.
Yeah, and maybe like the rift is like reacting to that thing rattling around under the crust of the earth, and like there's some kind of like maybe it's like a magnetic pull between the nether realm and something inside. Anyway, ideas. I'm done.
Do we want to go with that as a start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I add something to the palette of what we want to see?
Hmm?
Godzilla is real.
That was a documentary. Hiroshima
Godzilla is real. Not necessarily Mothra or Rodan, but Godzilla is real.
And Gamera definitely has to be Gamera.
Okay, and Gamera.
Wow.
Godzilla and Gamera are real. And okay, so that's the will be the first part of it. And then what is the thing that has just recently happened that is going to be like a big important event that happened shortly before we start the game?
Didn't you say something about a week ago, Kirby? Were you talking about something that was going to happen like the week before we started or whatever? Somebody said something about like
maybe something came out of the rift.
That was a lot bigger than a lot that we're used to.
Yeah, like not like we're used to a monster and secretly a sentient beings came out, but maybe this is like a giant crystal or something that has come out and has landed like in the middle of the city, and they're trying to figure out what to do with it, and that was like a week ago.
I was gonna say, what if something came out and smashed into the ground, like in the outskirts in the suburbs somewhere, and everyone in the entire area could see it happen, and it was gone when it landed.
It's
Like,
just the
and
C2C Delta music video.
And there's just nothing there, but there's like a crater, but there's just nothing there.
Interesting.
I
It's
like
their Parks
that.
and Recs where it's a big hole.
Yeah, yeah, just the pit. I fell into the pit.
It landed, it fell, earth shaking, and everyone runs to it, and it's gone.
And it was like everyone could see it. Like maybe it was some kind of ship, or it could be a giant crystal, like Steve said, something massive that everyone could see. But when it landed, there was not a single like clue or a piece of it
Yeah.
anywhere. It was completely gone.
We don't even have to decide what it was that crashed, but something came out of the rift that was big enough to leave like a block-sized crater in the suburbs. But when everybody got there to look at it, it's gone.
Kirby, you know Philadelphia. Tell us your least favorite suburb.
Shit, there's so many.
Sorry,
Choose.
All
sorry
right,
if anyone's watching is from whichever place you pick.
I'm
Wherever
gonna
you
say,
live, you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna say Fort Washington. We're gonna go ahead and just destroy someone's like massive 20-acre tennis court in Fort Washington.
There you
Yes,
go.
it's in a rich
Sounds good.
neighborhood. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do one quick thing before we take a bio break, if that's okay. We can do the first pass, so everyone will see how this works. These are things we can talk about, but each person has got their decision about what it's going to be. You can either add a period. Now, a period means you pull a column out, and then you give it, like, you see where we put these up here have got the, like something fell from the rift, caused a block-sized crater in Fort Washington, but nothing is there. Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs shook something loose and started supers. You can add a period, bring out one of the columns, and name it, like, as an event. We should know kind of how it, like, what happened. So instead of just being like, a dragon appears from the rift or something along those lines, it should be a dragon appears and is beaten back by local hero, like by Philly's heroes at a great loss. Like it should tell us. We don't have to all the details, but it should tell us kind of how things turn out, so we know. And then we determine. By the way, is the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these are both? Or we don't have these light or dark? The bomb started, shook something loose, and then something caused the rift. You want those light or dark?
Dark.
I would say maybe dark. Yeah.
Okay. Want both of them?
I don't know about the second one, to be honest.
Because it could be something that actually might turn out to be good, or it
That's
could
what.
be...
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like,
Oh, I didn't realize that I was
Is
like,
there-
what are you guys talking about? I had to scroll
Is there a
over.
way to like make it like a middle, like we don't know yet, so it's like a unknown if it's light or dark?
Let's make a decision, because that also lets us have an idea for, do we want to put something like a bad spin on it or a good spin on it as we start to build.
So what exactly are we asking here?
I think
Basically-
it's good, but whatever it is bad for the corporation.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that if it was dark, it would make for great drama or whatever. But like, or cool storytelling or whatever. But if it's good, it'll make for a more unique thing, because the corporations will
Oh my God,
stop
I
at
just had
nothing
an-
to hunt this thing down.
I just had a
if it
brilliant idea
somehow
for
helps
this.
us. You know what I mean?
I can't wait. I just had a brilliant idea for this.
Do
You
it.
might be able to put it here in a minute. So what we'll do is now we'll go around, each person to choose one. So either you put in a period, which is like somewhere between these two. These are going to be our bookends. And we like, say we've got like two more in between. The next one you put in, you get to decide where it goes. So we can move these around, but these two will be the first and the last. I'll make a note of bookends on theirs. And then, or you can either get like, here's the big period, or what you can do is you can put an event that happened in there, where you put in a text box. I've already put in a text box in those right now. And then what you can do is just put like, here's an important thing that happened during this period. Like for the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, someone might decide in that church under where like Hiroshima hit, that was actually like partly still standing, there was a person left alive. That was the first superheroes. Like you might decide something along those lines, and so we're filling in events.
What's the little Japanese anime character's name? The little, I want to say Ultra Boy or
One
Oh,
Punch Man?
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so if
Picture
we want,
Astro
we could
Boy.
go. We can go around and like if we start with. So what happens? Like the first player will kind of keep like rotating through us. Yeah, I don't know if we want to start with Kirby, and then we can head Kirby, Sarah, Nessa, Steve, and then Mo. Either a period. Here's an important thing that happened between those, like a big event, or here's an event that's going to be under each of these.
Okay, I just looked something up because I had this amazing idea that has nothing. I don't know where it's going to go, but
You're muted.
can't do both at the same time. Hold on, I'm going to unmute myself while I do this. Okay, you can hear me, right? Cool.
Yep.
Okay. One day after the bombing in Hiroshima, at the antipodal point on the Earth, which is Rio Grande, Brazil, this small hole broke out of the ground, and this. Oh, sorry. Am I doing something wrong?
So the only thing is, instead of putting that in a column, you notice where there's like there's
Oh,
already
okay.
a
Just
text.
type it there.
Yeah, you put it. The
Okay.
columns are for the big events that will have
I
the
gotcha.
big periods that will have events under them.
Okay.
Yeah, what you've got is a great event.
Okay. Antipodal point in Rio Grande. A hole broke open that's maybe like 1 foot wide. And this like red light just like beamed into space for like 2 hours. And then it just turned off.
You're
You're
muted.
quiet, Mo.
Quick clarification. Do you mean the Amazon River?
No, the Rio Grande, the city in
Oh, okay.
Brazil. Is what it says is the antipodal point of Hiroshima. So I'm just gonna go with what this
okay.
random thing says.
That's just if you
Okay.
go straight
I
down
just-
through the earth.
You
that's
said
It's
where-
Rio
basically-
Grande, and my Texas brain went like, "Why Texas?"
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's basically the complete opposite end. So what I guess what I'm thinking is the bomb shook something that
All the way
went
through?
through the earth and shot out the other side into space.
Interesting.
All right, Sarah, do you want to put an event or a period?
I'm gonna put a period.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, let me make a column real quick. New column. Say, supers. I'm gonna pick a year. 1978. Supers granted citizenship.
Whoa!
Where is?
You gotta scroll over if you didn't.
Yeah, it's over to the right from where we were.
I would say like sometime in 1978. Like, 'cause I think that like
Ah,
there would be an argument in like, well, are these actual citizens? Are they human beings? Blah 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 blah. And I think there'd be like the same as everything else. You'd have to have that happen.
One
So you
thing
have,
for-
go ahead.
Oh, that's right. Keep going.
So like voting rights, and so we're not necessarily dealing with that. Like they're actual citizens of wherever they are from.
For both of you, you want to do the same thing: is determine if what you have is light or dark. And what you do is if you you click on it over on the left hand side, the color thing should appear.
Color thing is not appearing.
Card color.
Hard color.
And
Steve, I think you're on my box.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, the card color will appear, and then you can go to top strip, and then choose like either red for dark or blue for light.
Supers granted citizenship. 1 second.
And only one person can be in each of those at a time.
I can't edit the color of mine,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be dark anyway. So
And Nessa, do you just want to make that red or?
Isn't it already red?
oh, never mind. Wait,
Oh
hold
no
on.
no! Don't do we do it for both the columns and we do it for the event.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kirby, if you click on color, like card color, and then there'll be a top strip.
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to figure this out here.
Yeah. So if you click on there, card color, and then it says background on the left, and then top strip over on the right.
I don't see that. Oh, card color. Oh, top strip. Okay, red. Okay, all right. There
Also-
we go. I gotcha.
Nice.
I want to say too that before 1978, being superpowered was like the X-Men, like you were in hiding, and after you were granted citizenship, then it becomes more of a public thing. There aren't a lot. There's a lot more after the rift opens, especially in Philadelphia. But I mean, like this is when citizenship becomes like superheroes become something.
All right. This is now your turn.
How long after all this happened do we think, whether or not they were in hiding or not, but like the first like publicly recognized superhero came about?
You can decide that right now if you want.
Alrighty. 1 second. I'm Googling something.
So if you want, that can be underneath it can be an event underneath the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or if you want it to be its own thing.
I have a quick question because I'm not great with my World War II history. Can someone put the year that the bomb was dropped so we have that at least?
1945.
Thank you. Just so I know the bumpers that we have available.
Do me a favor. Each time you do it, take that's if you want to take the note on the side and drag it in underneath the one that's there, because sometimes you'll be putting stuff in between or in front of other people's. Right now you've got it in Kirby's. If you grab the note and then slide it into that column, there it'll appear there.
Michael, you with all your fancy fucking internet.
It's so
tools.
fancy.
The thing is if you're doing this in person, what you do is you have note cards.
Yeah.
And so like you flip them horizontally if it's an event, but if it's a period, they kind of go underneath. Tima becomes the first Japanese. Who is Tima?
Tima is Astro Boy, basically, because Astro Boy is just Mega Man, and Mega Man is the plot of the Metropolis anime. And Tima is the little girl, the little blonde girl who's basically just Astro Boy and or Mega Man in Metropolis. So
is Metropolis based on? Is that new?
No, it's old.
I was wondering if that was based on the movie Metropolis.
Don't you say how long ago it was?
It has homages because it did come out after the original Metropolis, so it does have that like.
It was in the late '90s or something. I think it came out. It's so gorgeous that the subtitles become a little bit of a problem because there's so much to just sink into it. I haven't seen it since it came out, but I guess it's old.
I really like the original the original movie Metropolis. It's really cool.
All right. The team becomes the first Japanese superhero. And Steve, what do you want to
add? Oh boy. So I want to do an event. So is that a column?
An event underneath one of these three periods are already there.
I want to say that in 1980, supers were allowed to register for the military.
I can go under.
It depends. You want that's probably something underneath that granted citizenship.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you grab a note.
Yep.
You grab a note. You can just drag it into that column. There you go.
1980 supers supers permitted to join military.
I imagine that would be an interesting discussion with the World Court.
And that's the thing, you'll be able to go back and start adding stuff that later.
I read this series of books. It's about witches and familiars, and like it's done very much in like it takes place in like the 1904 1905 time frame, and the way they handle it, like with like witches and familiars being police officers or like in the army, it's just really cool. Kind of reminds me of that.
And Mo, it is now your opportunity to put a period or an event.
Are we not adding in the event of the rift happening? Or
No, if you want to throw that in there, you can.
Yeah, I do want to throw that in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna scoot this over. Oop. And I drag a column out. Oop. Oh god, they're overlapping. Oh god, it did a thing.
No, it's fine. I'll just move it over. I'll just move it over.
That's chaos.
Steve, is that supers being permitted to join the military a good thing or a bad thing?
How do I edit?
I'm gonna say it's a bad thing because people that are like literally nuclear being allowed to join the military became like this. It changed the way wars were fought.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was headed.
All right. So at this point, here in a couple minutes, we will be able to go. Oh yeah, we're using Millinote. Millinote is the one I picked up and started using for it, which I kind of dig for campaign keeping track of stuff. Campaign tracker. Someone asked in the chat. So the other thing we'll be doing is we'll basically be doing this, except like we'll go around. One person will be the lens, and they'll choose like, here's what we're going to focus on. They go around, and then like the person to their basically the person behind them then chooses a legacy. Like, here's a thing we want to make so we can kind of focus on, and then the next person will go ahead and then take a lens. So what we're going to do is start building stuff about the history. And one thing we want to also look at is like specific superheroes and stuff that the characters might know about will be really great things to take a look at. But we want to take like how long of a break? Like 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You have a preference?
10
Five.
minutes.
Oh, 10?
Okay.
Yeah, let's
So
do
yeah,
it.
come
We
back
can do
at
10. We can do 10.
At 10. So it'll be 8:36 my time, probably 9:36 some of y'all.
All right.
All right.
Beans.
I'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Hello.
I'm eating 3D Doritos.
Ooh,
All right.
Oh,
Wait,
so,
they
so
3D
fancy.
Doritos are back?
3D
They are
Doritos are
back.
back, just like us.
Oh man.
Oh, are you getting the nostalgia of the 2010s?
Yeah.
It's early 2000s,
I
man.
think they were older
Oh.
than that.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn
like
it.
that was like the 2000s.
You gotta start finding out what
When
was
did
around in the 2010s. It's no longer around now, and just casually drop it
Doritos
in.
come
Um,
When
out?
will Altoid Sours be back?
When will Cream Savers be back?
that was a
Oh
Cream
my
Savers just came
God.
back. That's why you need to get on Twitter. Cream Savers are back.
I love
What?
strawberry cream savers.
I used to love cream savers.
Oh, but they came
Keep
out in
Dragon's name.
1998. Oh my god, they came out when the Rift came out.
Oh, we should mention. Hang on.
Are they
3D
connected?
3D Doritos are made by the Rift.
Oh boy.
That's what fell out. It wasn't a crystal. It was
The
a
Rift
giant 3D
Rift
Dorito.
inflated all Doritos.
And they are secretly the reason that supers are being created.
Cream Savers born.
All right. All right. So what's gonna happen here? We'll start with the first player, and they become the lens. They declare what the focus is, what part of history we're going to explore. Then each person takes including them, takes a turn creating a period, event, or a scene. And I think we could, unless there's a scene that was like sufficiently public, we might know about it. You can actually kind of role play it, but we're also have about an hour and 20 minutes, so we probably want to stick with periods or events. Each person will create one, and then at the end, the lens finishes it, gets one more period, event, or scene, and then the person to the right, essentially the person who doesn't go next, picks a legacy, which means you're going to look at it and go, here's something during that just got put down, and you're going to go, this is something that we're going to be coming back to. And then that same player creates an event or dictated scene that relates to one of the legacies, and that doesn't be the one they create. It's essentially, what are the reoccurring themes and such that are popping up? Is there something kind of running underneath a lot of this that we find is kind of cool? Then it goes to the next. Then the player to the left of that person becomes the new lens, and we start that over. So, who would like to be the first lens?
I understood about like 30% of that, so not
Okay.
me.
I can walk you through. The actual walkthrough is not that.
So then you, Steve, then you.
Steve is in charge now.
Steve's in
Actually,
charge.
if you want to, I can show you how. It's real quick. It's fairly easy.
All right, I'll go first.
So here's the first. Just declare a focus. What is a part of history that you would like to have us all? And it doesn't have to be one of. It's not one of the ones that are up there, but it could be like. I want to talk about the wars that happened with superheroes. So it doesn't have to be one of these. It can also be something totally new. And then everyone in this round will then end up creating a period or event that focuses on that idea, you starting and you also ending. So what is an idea you would like to explore in the world that we have created? Any of the things in the past up to Philly itself and what's happening there. And it can be something that is not up there as of yet.
I want to talk about hold on, let me get hold on, sorry. I'm off guard. I want to talk about the Giovanni crime family.
Okay.
It's not up there, but I want to talk about them.
You get to add either a period, or it could be an event that is tied to one of the ones that's already up there that starts off with the idea of the Giovanni crime.
I think we need to start a new period. And I'm gonna say, so would that be a new column?
Yeah, if it's a period, it's a new column. You can put it anywhere between that first and last one. You can move other ones around as necessary.
Push these all over. New column.
Steve just bullying his way into there.
Move, history.
We don't need you.
Ugh.
Crime family. And then do I say something about this?
Yeah, so basically what happens, so here you won't put the Giovanni crime family there. What you're gonna put is what happens with them, or what is the period that you want to talk about? Do they take over, or is there something else going on?
I just want to say, I was thinking that like in the aftermath of some of the superhero stuff that occurred, like the citizenship, the being able to join the military, the normal crime families that had been around needed to adapt. So the first crime family that kind of like started to get into having supers as workers is really the Giovanni family.
Okay. So the question becomes: since you made it a period, which means, does this mean the Giovanni family takes over, or does something else happen? Like you give us kind of, you can put Giovanni crime family starts doing something with the supers, and then you get to let us know in a general sense how it ends.
The Giovanni crime family starts utilizing supers, and eliminates the old family.
Nice.
Unfortunately, all of the supers that work for the Giovanni crime family, they only get to use the name Hitman.
I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I
I don't hate
am
it.
ashamed of myself.
All right, so then what's going to happen is, so you have created the first period, so now we're going to go through, and I just kind of put the stuff up here. Yeah, Steve, Mo, Kirby, Sarah, and Nessa. In that order, each of you are going to add either a period or an event that ties in with the Giovanni crime family, starts utilizing supers, and eliminates the old family. So it can either be specifically under that, or you can throw in another event that is connected with this happening. So, Mo.
Oh, what? Sorry,
Yeah,
I did not realize it was my turn. I thought it
Oh
was
yeah,
at the
no, yeah,
end.
no. So you now get to either add a period or an event that is tied into the Giovanni crime family starts utilizing supers and eliminates the old family.
Event. Kind of like the Valentine's Day Massacre, but like more of like in 1992, maybe like I need Philadelphia landmarks real quick. Hold on 1 second. That's not the Val.
Rittenhouse Square,
Libertyville.
Independence Mall, Washington Square. Washington Square actually has thousands of bodies buried under it, which is kind of an interesting fact that I just discovered actually recently.
They also have an interesting
Because I
park
was digging to
infrastructure.
put another body into it.
Yeah.
The Giovanni are different from the Genovese, right?
Sure.
I just
All right,
have
because I was about to be like, they've been around since 1957 and they didn't utilize superheroes until 1990.
well,
But I
'cause-
think I'm getting the Genovese and the Giovanni mixed up because I'm not good at mafia.
Well, there could
times.
have been other reasons they didn't. You actually might be able to put in a reason, either why they didn't or what happened to someone.
Steve, did you just make that name up?
No, it's
Oh.
my very obscure attempt to put a Pokemon reference in the game.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Giovanni was the head of Team Rocket.
Oh,
I forgot about
yeah.
him.
All right, so Mo, what do you want to go with?
I'm looking real quick. Hold on. I look at Bartram's Garden is a place.
Yeah, I was just there yesterday.
Do you mind if I ruin it?
Oh, no.
It's called Bartram's Betrayal.
Bartram's Betrayal.
And there was a wedding that was happening there between like a crime family,
Oh.
and they decided just to red wedding the whole thing.
Oh.
Ooh.
All right, throw that in as drop a note in there and let that be the event.
Lannisters always pay their debts.
Do I have? Is this a thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I typing in the right area?
You're hearing the Reigns of Castamere.
Yeah.
Mm.
Play like the Godfather theme.
Am I spelling that right? Hold on. God, where am I?
You
too
are
many
now.
tabs. Bartrams. Okay, Bartrams.
It's gonna be like Bob Ross. It's a happy little accident. That's the way it is.
It's just a happy
That's
little
how it's
accident.
gonna be. I didn't mean to put that bit of a tree there, but now
1992, Bartram Trails, a massacre. Whose wedding was it? Was it someone from the Giovannis, or was the Giovanni wiping somebody out?
That's for you to decide.
I think it was the Giovanni's wiping out another crime family.
I think that makes sense.
Oh God, I don't know any. I don't know crimes.
Well, Giovanni's not real either, so you can just make it up. I can give you like 15 Italian names right off the top of my head.
Well, let's do another Pokemon leader.
You
Hang
got
on.
you got the Crinitti family. Although that one's actually a Philadelphia Mafia family, so I probably shouldn't say that on stream.
Yeah, let's
Or
not do actual.
You could even go like Irish mob.
Yeah. Sierra, Arlo, Criff,
Kirby,
Cliff.
have you seen History of Violence?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yes.
Oh, good movie.
It killed
Good
Jimmy Philly.
movie.
Yeah, you should have.
I'm gonna go watch that later. God, Michael, you gotta stop talking to me. I keep doing shit that I.
So good. Bringing you into my cult.
Yeah.
Bless you.
On the O'Connellys.
Oh,
If you really want to, you could also put name to be determined later.
The Maguires.
Hmm.
What is it?
I was thinking the
Petagrossa.
that'd be another Italian family, wouldn't it? Pellegrossa.
Petagrossa.
But does it also mean dangerous? Because Pellegrosso in Spanish means dangerous.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Petagrossa.
Oh God, I'm so bad at naming
No,
things.
I'll say this, you could name it after my friend. It's
Michael Matthews. Name it the Michael Matthews clan. The most dangerous.
Papio. But my friend
yeah.
Janine was one of my roommates in New Jersey. Her last name's Papio, very Italian.
Papio.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of the people I knew in New Jersey ended up being either Italian or like actually from Brazil.
Or they pretend to be Italian, like half the people in Philly.
It's American Italian. It's
The reason why it was an Italian-Irish wedding, and they were trying to merge their alliances.
The O'Connellys and the Papios, the O'Donnells.
The O'Donnells, yeah.
Lawrence O'Donnell escaped with his life.
Or did he?
Right? That looks right.
Looks good to me.
Done did by the Giovanni family?
Mhm.
Question mark? Because they aren't answering.
Done did by the Giovannis. I'm gonna tell you something.
Done did.
You can't prove anything.
You got to write that.
Giovanni is of West Virginia.
That John got did by the Giovanni. John got
Hey,
did by
Kirby,
the
it's up for you.
Giovanni. Okay, fuck. I was too busy having fun to think.
John said the Mario family.
The
No.
Mario family.
No.
It's
John.
me, a Papio.
His name is technically Mario.
It's never proven it was them, though.
As is Luigi's name, Luigi Mario.
Mario.
How do I do the thing again?
Oh, so when you click in it, there'll be a over on the.
Kirby, get out of there. Dragon.
I'm not.
Drag.
Yeah.
Steve,
The-
get out.
Oh,
Card
I wasn't.
color. Card color.
sorry.
On the left.
I don't see it.
Red color.
Yeah. So if
And then
you
top
click,
strip.
if you click on the thing, on
Click on
the
it.
the
You do
note,
it.
that on the left thing, you'll see the card color appear.
I don't want to.
So that the little menu on the left, the same one you would have pulled stuff out of. Card color. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, thank you. I think too many fingers were in the pot, and it was like, stop it.
We were all trying to taste the ice cream at the same time. It was getting gross.
Kirby, Kirby, what's your thing?
Oh Jesus, I don't know, man. This is so hard. We're sticking with the Giovannis.
It has something to do with them, like utilizing super. So it can be. It
Yeah.
could be a before or after. It could be a whole new period, something that happened because of this, but something associated with this.
Okay. The eliminating the old family. I'm gonna build off of the Papio O'Donnell family wedding, but I'm gonna go before. If that's okay with everyone.
Yep. Dragon note.
It's your call, man.
So I'm thinking in 1991. Whoops, that's 1001. There was I'm gonna say the O'Donnells. Oh fuck, I'm like having a brain fart right now. So I want to do something about like a bombing against the Giovannis that kind of set this like we're gonna use supers and like build our force against them, you know?
Was it like an assassination? Or was
Yeah,
it...
I was thinking maybe the O'Donnells hit the Giovanni's. Oh, I got okay. Giovanni's using a super, taking out Uncle. I gotta think of a great Italian name for this.
Maurizio.
Maurizio. Uncle Maurizio Giovanni. I'm just gonna say taking out Maurizio Giovanni.
I think the kids call him Maury for short.
Yeah, Uncle Maury.
You are not the
He's
father.
not the father.
That's it.
He's the uncle. And I'm going to say this is the reason why the Giovanni started amassing money and quickly trying to buy up all the supers they could, because they didn't want to get hit by supers anymore.
I like it.
Something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah.
I'm looking at something really quickly on Wikipedia. I think sometime after the rift opens, I can make sort of a note. God damn it. What's going on? I don't know what I did. How do I delete this?
Just hit
Okay.
delete.
Just hit delete.
All right, 1 second. Okay.
No, you change that again, we're gonna fight.
You know.
No, cream savers are good.
Okay.
They're good.
I'd say probably, let's say 2004.
Mhm.
The U.S. government, the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney General, I'm trying to how to phrase this. Basically, like the crime family's taken down, the like the Al
Regulation.
Capone style regulation kind of stuff. Like I'm looking at John Gotti's convictions, like illegal gambling, tax evasion, obstruction of justice, racketeering, like everything besides murder. Like they basically get about on these like a whole bunch of like white collar charges, and take out the and I don't want to say take out the family, but like they cut them off at the knees.
Can I make a
USAG.
suggestion?
Yeah.
2002 rather than 2004.
Why so?
Because here's a fun example. There is a abandoned psych ward near my house that was a very popular walking trail before I was born. And then when 9/11 happened, they were like, by the way, this isn't a security risk, but nobody's allowed on the grounds anymore. Because, you know, what if they do 9/11 to this abandoned psych ward? And to this day, you are still not allowed to go onto that property. Like they closed it that day, never been open ever again. And I feel like, I don't know if 9/11 happened here. Knock on wood, it didn't. But let's say something happened in 2002 that made the government go like, time to crack down on a lot of things. Time to crack down.
Let me figure out a name for the father. I'm trying to think of any Italian friends I know. Say Pietro.
All I can think of is Inglorious Bastards. Gorlami.
You have a couple grand jury to convict Pietro Giovanni, all but crippling the family's power.
Yes. I love it. Good with the fall
right.
of the family.
Nessa.
All right. That one was going to be mine because I was going to be like,
Oh, put it in.
this is the end. But I will.
Okay, y'all, how do we do this? The blue again?
It's
So
at the bottom.
Yeah, click on it, and then you'll see card color appear on the left-hand side in that.
It's all the way down at the bottom. Because I
And
found
then-
it later.
Yeah, so when you click on one, card color will appear.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Oh, we get one right in 1998. All right.
Ooh.
3D Doritos were invented.
With the coming of the wrist.
This is become snack food based, isn't it? This whole thing.
You know what? I ain't
Cheesecakes
mad.
And cream savers and Doritos.
You know what? Maybe depending on what kind of character I make, maybe my family owns a restaurant, like a little small restaurant in town, like a little. What did you? I don't, bodegas or like not really restaurants, they're like more corner stores with like food
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
in them, right?
Yeah.
A deli.
A bodega.
I don't know what they are. I'm very excited to experience one when I go.
It's literally just a corner store. There's
I
nothing
don't.
special
That
about
they
it.
don't exist down here, so that's
Oh,
why.
really?
Yeah, we have gas
I think-
stations.
I think bodegas are. I always think of New York when I hear bodega.
Yeah, I never experienced.
I guess you know
anything
what?
like
I
that.
guess that makes sense because there's only a few
Oh, you
cities.
guys got Bucky's. That's
We have Bucky's, but the thing is, that's also a gas station, and they're on like highways out of
Oh.
town, so like they're road trip stops.
Yeah,
Like, you gotta go to bathroom, go to Bucky's.
it makes sense
Mhm.
because there's only row homes in certain cities. And there's only a few cities that have row
Oh,
homes.
that's right. I was
And
like,
that
what's
would
a
make
row home? And I was
sense.
like, oh yeah, they're the skinny homes.
That would
Like,
make sense that
I mean, you
bodegas
don't
would
need,
not
you don't
exist
need a
in
row home to have a bodega. Like I have
Well,
a
yeah,
bodega.
but
Granted, they do also have a small butcher section, but you know, it's fine. I think 1998, the Giovanni, because the whole point of it is that it's the family. Like you're not supposed to be a made man if you're not a blood relative of the
Mhm.
family. But because you have to accept the supers, it means you have to accept people who are not part of the family. Because not everyone in your family is going to be a superhero, obviously. But the Giovanni family acceptance of superheroes helps improve public opinion.
okay.
Because you know, people kind of like mobsters.
they
They
are
say they
really
don't.
Oh,
So-
did it start working its way into like movies and stuff?
yeah.
So the Giovanni family inadvertently helped start the corporations buying superheroes.
There you go.
You get to finish up this particular focus. Is that what you want to go with?
Oh, did everybody get a chance to go?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all the way
Mhm.
around. We're now back to you.
Yes. In 1999, the first corporate superhero, Chuck Tucker's mom, was signed.
Oh, do we want to come up with a name for this corporation?
Oh.
Just call it fucking Amazon. No, I don't.
no, I don't want to call it Amazon. We
One
don't know.
second.
Corporation
Powers.
name generator.
Our troll.
I love name generators.
Oh, fantasy name generator. Here we go.
The X Factor Corporation
It's,
makes
they-
it.
is it made of the original X-Men and pretending to hunt down mutants?
I was just spitting something. Somebody come up with a name. The corporation makes
Alphacom?
its first
Alphacom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alphacom's cool.
Mhm.
super sponsorship.
Yeah, Alphacom, the corp that sponsors supers,
Okay.
plus their sort of Fox News-esque. Here on
What was it?
Alphacom, we'll tell you the
And-
truth and only the truth.
And not
So-
3 years later, they cut the knees out of the Giovanni family.
So the
Oh.
the Alphacom Corporation makes its first superhero sponsorship.
Oh, I was thinking Alphacom's one word, but it could be two.
Oh, Con or Com?
Com.
Alphacom
COM.
makes its first superhero sponsorship.
All right, so at this point, Nessa, you now get to choose a legacy. So over on the legacies, we'll put this is something that you think, an idea that comes off of this, that can be its own event that the people will be able to explore a little bit later. Yeah, so the first thing that you want to do is, what is it from this that kind of you find really interesting? And then this could be the consequences from it. This could be something specific about it that you're like, I think this will be important.
Hmm. I guess, can I just name the first corporate superhero because I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
yeah,
legacy.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Legacy is would be the first corporate superhero. And this is our Tucker Carlson analog's mom, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. If someone has a better name idea, let me know. But
Oh, whatever you put, we're sticking with.
Starflame. Love it.
All right.
I can see her logo now.
The lid. Where is it?
First corporate superhero. And
there
then
it
what
is.
you'll do, you'll create an event that is related to her. Belle
Okay.
McNamara.
Did you name her after the writer of I'll Be Gone in the Dark?
no, I didn't want to use Tucker Carlson's mom's real last name.
Ah.
And I believe her first name is Michelle. She's not even on his Wikipedia page. He really hates her.
Yeah, Michelle McNamara is Patton Oswalt's
Damn.
ex-wife who wrote "I'll Be Gone in the Dark."
Oh,
and
yeah.
Late,
Like-
late wife.
Oh, yeah,
Wait.
the weird thing was his final interview about them actually getting that book out was the same day they caught the actual killer.
I know.
That's
I know.
So yeah, you get to now create something, an event associated with her.
Okay, so that's a column, right?
An event will be underneath one of the columns, right? It'll be
Okay.
a thing
Oops.
that goes underneath it.
Didn't accidentally make one. How long do we want her to go for? 2005 feels like maybe a little bit too soon, but also feels like an okay amount of time.
So 1999, 2005 sounds like a good 6-year stint.
And maybe it should be closer to 2009. But we are doing mid 2000. Like she can't make it to 2012. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
gotta. It's just gotta be the first.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
get mid 2000s, but also we do want a little bit more than 6 years.
Did they ever replace her? Like, did they ever do the corporate thing to
I think we decided that she died in such a public and
Right.
violent way that they couldn't cover it up. They couldn't be like, she's fine.
That could also have been the thing that taught them they need to somehow cover things up enough that they need to make it so that people don't think their heroes are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, if tonight we don't get to choosing characters, we'll be able to talk about it over the next week, and then actually do when we get in person, we can do the those choices and then head straight into it next time.
Funny. Okay.
We can all decide what the triangle gas fight explosion is later.
Mhm.
All right, then that takes us to Mo. You get to do the next focus. What is the thing you would like to focus on?
Oh God.
You get to create a new focus. Well, what's something you find interesting? You can create something totally new. It can come off of something in here. I'll say if people also want to keep an eye on creating heroes and stuff that your characters might know here and there, I would start maybe just sprinkling them in so we can kind of have a
Canon.
a common canon we can kind of refer back to.
I think because I think it might be relevant to us as players, character players, once we get into it. Maybe the talking about superhero-ness showing, or power showing up in young adults, teens, maybe children.
Yeah.
When those first start showing up, and maybe eventually getting into the corporate schools and stuff like that, or the military schools or whatever.
Sweet. That'll be the focus. You now go ahead and with that one, you can now create a period or event that ties in with that focus.
Period is the column?
Yeah, period is a column. Events go in the column.
Okay. I think. Excuse me, coming through, making my way.
Yeah, feel free to
Move them,
stuff.
gay. It's gonna be in. Let's see. Corporation started in 1998. I'm gonna say in 2007. Does that seem too late? That it starts showing up in kids.
It's kind of neat that it's relatively recently. That means when it comes to like people with superpowers that are younger, y'all are possibly in those early groups. It hasn't been around.
Ooh, first generation.
Yeah.
Gen Z, baby.
I'm gonna say it's always like probably after like puberty is like some like was like there's no children yet that have it, but it's always like it always shows up in puberty. So 12 plus, most people are drinking milk. And preteens, 12 years old and up. That sound good?
Okay.
Make the color. It's blue.
All right. So now we go around. Kirby, Sarah, Nessa, and then Steve, and then back to Mo for the end of it. This is what we're focusing on now: is powers showing up in preteens, 12-year-olds, and up.
All right. I'm gonna say pretty quickly after, probably I'm gonna say the same year. The corporate, I'm gonna say 2007. Corporations, obviously lobbying with the government, are basically collecting kids that are showing signs of these powers and kind of sending them to these like schools that we kind of discussed earlier. The Big Brother kind of training camps, program thing. Big Brother program thing.
Yeah, we all know what that means.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not named, but we know what it is.
Yeah.
But okay, so since this is when this happens, I guess it's gonna be there's not gonna really be any supers or that many supers available to do the training. So it's just kind of like people that work for the corporation teaching these kids about their own powers and stuff. It's kind of all I got right now, but superhero Big Brother thing, Big Brother school, Big Brother program.
Sponsored by the corporations.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sponsored by the corpus,
You
by
have
Alpha.
child
Alphacom.
superpowers. Big Brother and Big
And-
Sister, sponsored by Alphacom, is here for you.
Oh no, it's
Uh,
it's friend computer that's behind it.
Friend computer.
It's called Sidekick University.
Oh wait, this should be red.
Is it? Oh, please don't tell me it's Sky High.
I love that. That's a red.
Don't even think about it, Michael.
Yeah, you fucking
Fucking
change it
think
back, Kirby.
Don't worry,
you.
I'm on top of that.
Thank you.
All right,
I'm watching his goddamn cursor scroll around.
Sarah, you know.
Okay.
So this
I'm
could be an
going to
event
say-
or a period.
So what's the difference between an event and a period again? A
Periods
period is like
are
one
like
of the new
these-
columns?
Yeah, periods of the columns. They're the big things that happen, and these could be like maybe a group of these kids do something, or something happens, it becomes its own kind of things that has events underneath it, or it could be an event tied in with any of the ones we have already that ties into this. Like they don't all have to go
Okay.
underneath this particular column.
Okay, I feel like there would be I don't know how to put this exactly.
Thank you,
so-
Nessa.
New note. Let's see. Let me see. 2009. Okay, I have an idea for this. I have an idea. First.
Sorry, it's not you, Sarah. It's
No, Sean.
What did she
Sean
put?
just put superheroes in training or shit for short.
What? Where?
in the Twitch chat.
It's in the
Rather
Twitch
than
chat.
being a CIT, you're a shit.
Superheroes in training. Shit. The shit program.
The shit
first-
program.
It
I
would be
love
so
that.
funny if someone if they called it like the sit program or something, but everyone in it called it the shit program. One of those things are going. That's not what
First-
the. That's not what
teen
it said.
First teen superhero,
One word.
Starflame. I'm gonna say Fire Dancer.
Oh,
Oh, a bit closer, fire dancer.
do you think? Oh, sorry.
So I'm actually say 2008 Fire Dancer. First teen superhero, Starflame's sidekick.
Okay, good. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, is it Starflames? Anything related to Starflame? Because I've been really good.
That's why like it obviously she's a corporate superhero because the corporation started the Big Brother program. So like
Mhm.
her name is directly connected to Starflame, and she witnessed Starflame's death.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want that to be
Forever
an event,
Tool.
or do you want that to be its own?
I'm gonna put it under the 2007 Power Star Trip and Teens. Witnessed
Gotcha.
Starflame's death firsthand. And I'm gonna say she was probably, I want to say 16 when it happened.
Oh,
Like-
quick thing. Can we put pronouns for people if we're putting people in here? Just so.
Oh yeah,
Excellent idea.
Starflame.
Excellent idea.
She, her.
I'll throw in Starflame.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that I make pronouns right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
See, me, what's that? X, Starflame, Fire Dancer. B, Starflame's sidekick, witnessed Starflame's death firsthand. 16 at the time. So let's just pop this bad boy into here.
All right. That takes us to Nessa.
Why is it cold now? Because it's the gold
Because-
standard.
Yes. Yes.
I love
Because
it.
the orange
Wait.
flavor is the best flavor.
Accurate.
I like ShopRite, but orange is good.
Yes.
Michael?
Michael.
Michael.
Just an office moment here.
It's that TikTok thing when they're like the one girl like runs towards the window. They're just like Rachel.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it. I did it.
I'm gonna take away your mouse privileges, Michael.
You're not careful. We're gonna name one of the NPC superheroes Cream Saver.
I might, and it's gonna be a good one.
I don't know how I feel about that being a superhero name.
Yeah, true.
That sounds like a superhero parody video.
Ew. Ew.
Whose turn is it?
It's mine. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I
I
don't
was
have
like,
a
please,
lot.
let's move past this conversation.
Yeah. No, let's move back into Cream Saver.
I pre-plan mine, and then Sarah reads my mind and does them almost exactly, which I do love. I think that means we're on the
Great
same wavelength.
minds.
Exactly.
I
Nice.
hate you because
Then I have to think of a new one because I come right after you. Purple. Why?
Because Steve's bored.
You know, I'll take it. That's a good color.
He's like, I need purple.
Everything's better with
Sean,
purple.
don't you fucking dare, Sean.
They're called
What year are we doing this
Friend
in, by the way?
Savers.
2000.
Like which
2020?
2000? We can
I
do
said-
like 2015.
I said the 2010s, so we could go anywhere in there, really.
do you want to set like a start of game date?
Yeah.
We just put what year do we want to put?
2017.
2017?
I don't know. I was the only one talking, so I just spit out a
That
date.
works.
Yeah, it works.
A couple years ago.
Kirby, you're amused by something. What's up?
my my rule 34 superhero.
God.
That's what
That's-
Sean said, and
Sean
then
said
Kirby
that.
just held on.
I was
to
asking
it.
if the rule 34 was their power. They turn everything
no.
into rule 34.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I regret even mentioning
Oh,
that.
superpowered reality TV show.
That
Ooh,
is so
Oh,
what would
yes.
have happened.
good.
One of the
That's
games
so
I'm in love
good.
with and want to eventually run is Underground, which all the supers are people that corporations have turned into supers for proxy wars for the various governments. And there are multiple superhero reality shows that take place during the actual wars. Like, it's an incredible satire of society that is less of a satire now than it was in the 90s when it was.
I
All
mean,
right,
hell
first
yeah.
superhero based reality TV show. You want that to be a good thing or a bad thing?
I have it marked as good, but it's probably not great.
So if you want to decide your color there, that takes us to Steve.
Oh, I'm confused. Okay.
So the focus
just-
is power starts showing up in preteens, 12-year-olds and up.
Okay, and I gotta put something under that. Okay. Um. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-dum. Come on, how do I add a note?
Just drag it out from the left-hand side.
Okay. Let's go with (2008) Fire Dancer, she/her, is given money from the corporation to form. How do you spell? Are there?
Corporatio.
The first teen superhero squad.
Oh, so like she formed her own Titans in a way, or
But it was through the corporations. They gave her money.
oh,
The corporate, or I guess we have a name.
Sponsored
Paid her off?
Titans. Yeah,
What was it? Alphacom?
Alphacom.
Alphacom. Yeah.
Making sure that everyone was like, what's the term? Like camera ready. Like
Yeah.
everyone like looked perfect and had just the
Um,
right backstory, or at least told people they had just the right backstory.
The highlights.
If this was going to be an NPC, Fire Dancer would be the funnest character to play. This is this old, grizzled Norma Desmond type of superhero. Like, I think you're so
And
great.
Let
Fuck
me tell you
off.
about these assholes.
I'm gonna say that that was a good thing, but more in like the good thing for the public opinion of superheroes.
Mm.
Like,
All right.
even though the corporation is in control of them, and that's not a good thing, but the people seeing a teen superhero squad kind of like made people like them a little more.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thought there.
And Nessa, did you want the superpowered based reality TV show to be a light or a dark one?
I have it marked as blue, but it's not showing up, so I'll just change it to red and see.
It's
If
showing
see
as
it.
blue. Yeah.
Oh, I
fine.
wasn't showing it.
It was showing up for me.
All right, Mo, you now get to close out the idea that the power starts showing up.
Let's see
You
here.
can create a period or an event.
I think I'm going to finish off with an event. Because I want to say Alphacom's first school, like the school that they were working on. Oh, 2007 Big Brother. Would the Big Brother program be the school, or is that something different?
I think the school
Big
takes a
Brother's
minute.
a mentor thing. So they might have
Oh.
expanded from the mentor to an actual school.
You know what? Actually, to pull away from the corporations and pull in some of the grassroots organizations. A grassroots organization moves in and starts helping like the non-corporate type of characters that are actual superhero children that need help, instead of being like the face, but you don't have a personality, so therefore you can't be a part of us, sort of thing.
Nice.
I think that's gonna be more recent.
Oh God, I just thought of something that's terrible. Like they're not the right. I just mentioned this company being really racist, basically. It's
What?
AlphaCon.
Who's to say?
How do I what is this?
Is this an event or a period?
It's
Do you want it to be a bigger thing? Or
it's a event, so
just pull a note, the very top one, the note, just pull that into.
I did it. I did it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Pop, 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 pop. Starting in 2017, 20. I'm gonna say it's newer, so maybe like 2014.
Okay.
Oh God, what's this grassroots organization called? Do I have a thing for that? Do I have a generator for organization stuff?
What about the other kids?
Mm,
Eh,
Rebellion names. Nope, that's not what I want.
Organization. There are name generators. We found a mineral name generator when we needed like a special magical mineral. Oh, this evil organization name generator. I don't want that.
Do like
Really?
something like power to the people or something like that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
something with people or something with just the world. Something that promotes that they're for society. I'm so bad at names.
Me too.
What about the PPP? People for the Promotion of Powers.
I don't hate it.
It's a good placeholder.
It is
That was the name when they first started, and later they were like, we need a better name. Something that catches the ear a bit better.
Oh, you down with PPP? Yeah, you.
Hey, you know me.
So
The People's
Wow.
Council.
It's good.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's also vague enough that if someone comes to like crack down
Yeah.
on them, they'd be like, this is actually the People's Council for Restorative Justice. You have us confused with someone else.
I was looking up a thesaurus for different words for grassroots, and one of them is inglorious. I think like colloquially they're called the inglorious bastards.
That's
A
good.
grassroots organization who was formed to help support and mentor young supers who do not reflect the corporation's values.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to be able to now choose a legacy that is, you can kind of look at like influences that might happen because of this.
Oh, that's not what I want. Ah, I'm working on it. Don't pay attention to me.
You'll choose a legacy, and then you'll choose one of the two legacies that we'll have, yours or Nessa's, to decide what is an event that has happened because of them, because of one of those.
So I picked the event from the legacy.
Well, first the legacy. So the first one we had Starflame, the first corporate superhero that came
Yeah.
out because that was one of the interesting things that Nessa was like, that seems super cool about the Giovanni crime family, and now you get to choose a legacy, something that came about because of the power start showing up in preteen. This and the stuff we've created here.
I'm gonna say a legacy that came up. And would that be a person or
It depends on what you want to do. It could be basically something that because of what happened here causes other things to happen.
okay. Um, I'm thinking that because of like the powers starting to show up in preteens and the forming of these like teen superhero squads, the reality shows, that if there's all this stuff supporting them, there would be an organization that would be trying to create like weaponry to fight them and eliminate them. So I'm gonna go with Blake Industries.
Nice.
Oh, I like that. Like Stark Industries.
Very similar. Like Blake Industries is founded by Jason Blake.
Can't ever trust someone named Jason.
They/him, in an effort to cure the superhero problem.
You know, I was gonna do something like that for my turn, so I'm actually going to riff off of that legacy.
Well, I will say real quick though, Steve, you now get to create an event that happens because of that, and that can go anywhere on this. An event that is tied into that legacy, or you can choose the other legacy as well. You choose one of those two legacies.
So an event is something that goes under one of these, correct?
Yep.
I'm gonna say, all right, let's add a note. Where are my notes? There it is. Notes. We're gonna add it here. Blake Industries.
Oh, this is like Syndrome.
Blake
Nice.
Industries, and that is gonna be in 2009.
All right. We finally have powered suit, and that takes us.
And I'm gonna say that that is a good thing,
Okay.
because now normal people could have the potential to rival powered.
All right, Kirby, it is now your lens. What would you like to focus on?
What year would you say, Steve, Blake Industries is founded?
That is up to you, man, if that's the lens you're going for.
Because I was gonna lean into something like that, but it's not gonna be that specifically. I was gonna go with something similar, and I think what I'm gonna have to do is Jason Blake's father in 1986.
I'll be right back. I'm listening. I'll be right back.
Founded. How do I move stuff? Oh, I have to like be zoomed in to move stuff. That's inconvenient.
Here, I'll move this one for you.
All right, because I have like two windows open here. Hold on. Okay. Go this way, and this way, and this way. Okay, that should be enough. All right, so column. I'm gonna say 1986. Henry Blake.
Henry Blake. Where's that familiar from?
I don't know. I just made it up.
It was a dude named Henry.
Actually, I'm gonna say Blake.
Blake.
Henry Blake.
Blake.
Opens research.
The Howard Stark to Jason's
Company.
Tony.
This is I was already thinking of doing something like in the 80s about like scientific experiments.
Oh my god, yes.
And so I was,
Yes.
as soon as Steve said Jason Blake and his corporation, I was like, okay, their father is going to be the person who was like the original researcher.
Yeah.
And this is going to 100% be a bad thing. So opens
They do
research
not use the powers
company.
for good.
He's gonna be a big old fat him.
A
And
big old fat him.
so I don't know why I said that. And Henry Blake is going to found. It's going to be called. It's not going to be Blake Industries. That's too obvious. I think it's going to be called like. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to use the name of a corporation that I have in my game that I'm writing. Nova Corp.
Ooh, I love it.
And it's actually the name of a corporation in my game. And Nova Corp is an experimental research R&D. R&D.
So, Michael, I've got a question.
Mhm.
When we finish all of this microscope stuff, is there going to be someplace where it's going to be all put on like one document for like easy viewing and like going back to during the
Well,
game?
Here?
The thing is we'll probably actually use this Milanote to keep track of most of our stuff.
Okay.
Like instead of roll 20 in one of those, we could use this.
Nobody come back and change things. We all know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
That
going to
means
be
the cream
my
savers.
that's going to be
Yeah.
my lens. 1986, Henry Blake started Nova Corp, an experimental research and development organization funded by the U.S. government for the purpose of genetically engineering powers, or
Alright.
trying to.
I think it cut you off, but
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
did
get purpose of gene.
Oh,
oh, I had it.
There might be a limit, but like
Yeah, it did it in another spot, but we know what he means.
purpose
Yeah, we know what
of
you mean.
Yep. All right. Yeah, you have created that. Then we go along. Everyone else then get. Remember, this is something that can be. It can be in that period, but it could also be much more far-reaching than. And if we want to keep in mind creating other superheroes and stuff your characters would know about, that will be useful.
Okay. Okay.
Idea already.
I don't know who's next.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that goes to Sarah.
Okay. I'm gonna say 1999. Henry Blake. Let's see. New note. Henry Blake creates the first starship to enter the rift.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, never returns.
Ooh.
He's not on it, of course. Actually, is he on it? Is he on it? Yes, he's on it.
That's how
He's
he
on
very
it,
well
and that's
could be.
and that's how Jason took over.
and
Yeah.
that's why Jason
I was trying to
hates
decide
supers.
between like Henry dying under mysterious circumstances or Henry creating the spaceship, but this covers both. I love this.
because that is how he would die. Just be so supremely confident in his own. Like he's like, I haven't created the perfect vehicle. We will not perish upon entering this
I
rift.
will be the first to see.
Did you mean Elon Musk?
There you go.
I almost
can
like
only-
the idea that
We
if-
can only hope.
I know.
I almost
Knock
like
on
the
wood.
idea if something
Or
goes in
don't knock on wood.
unmanned, it does come back out,
Hmm.
but it doesn't.
Ooh.
But it can't record anything.
I'm gonna say first manned starship then.
What is that? Wait, that's from something, isn't it, Michael?
I have no idea. I just like that idea of like the confidence to go in. Oh, this ship came back. I'll be fine. But you find out if a person sent or like it can't record anything while it's there. You don't have to go with that. That's just my thought. I'm like
Did
this would be
you-
an
I'm gonna go-
interesting reason to go.
Did
I'm
you
gonna go
mean
with
to
the
put
red
it-
on this.
Did you mean to put
What?
it in the rift area or in the?
Yeah. No, it's going. I want
Just
it to be like
'cause-
right after the rift opens. It's
Okay,
definitely
yeah.
rift related.
True.
Also,
But-
because timeline-ish.
And it's bad because this is what causes Jason to take over.
And it's a mix of both the timeline and what is connected to what.
Yeah.
So like it's not perfect. There's going to be stuff that overlaps. All right,
Yeah.
that takes us to Nessa.
Yes. I don't know why. Oh, that would be why. Whoops, daisy. There we go. All right, those just live there now. I'm gonna say 1987. Henry. I'm gonna say Nova Corp. the power containment patch, which is so that
Yes.
which is a highly unethical but somewhat necessary. The government was real happy about it. Patch that limits certain abilities and can be used to subdue people who are either. It's supposed to be so that if you've broken the law and you're in prison, they don't have to keep building like these insane, like labyrinthian prisons to just be like, you can teleport through doors, so here's one prison with 1,000,000 doors, so we
It's
can
like
contain
the-
you.
Oh, it's like the dampers for like Young Justice
from Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, it's the collars, at
Yeah.
the fridge.
Yeah.
Which also means the government has a way if they come after people, shutting down the.
Yes. Which is why this one's going to be red, because it was. I mean, was it great that there wasn't an option for this before? Wasn't great. Is the fact that the government has an option to do this now much worse? Much worse. On the bright side, NovaCorp got that government funding just boom right away. They were like, "We got you. Give us more money."
I will take us to.
Oh, me. Oh boy. Let's put a note. Let's go 2000. Blake shuts down the genetic facilities
I like that.
and separates from government funding.
Oh, is he ethical?
It's uncertain. Like
Or
a
does he
lot,
have different goals?
it's uncertain. Like
Their views
J-
don't align anymore, therefore they had to split, right?
no, Jason Blake doesn't like superpowered people.
Yeah.
His father made billions working on them. Blake is now shutting all that down, taking the billions and taking the newly founded Blake Industries in a different direction. Renames.
NovaCorp. Yeah, baby. Oh, this ties into
Corp to Blake Industries.
This is conveniently
Nice.
the year after AlphaCom has its first superhero corporate sponsorship.
And I'm gonna say it's a good thing because now Blake is doing stuff seemingly for the people and not for the government. So I kind of like the idea that Blake is this kind of he's not a bad guy, but he definitely isn't doing stuff for good reasons.
He's got his own agenda.
He's an anti-villain.
I like that. Yes.
Anti-vaxxer.
That takes us to.
Yeah.
My turn?
Yep.
Why do I keep... That's not what I want. I don't want to comment. How do I... delete. Beans, hold on.
Where do you need something to go?
I'm trying to put a thing in the Henry Blake area, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Whoops.
Oh God.
No.
Oh,
I made
no.
it worse.
I'm not touching anything. Okay.
Well, I got it back to where it was at least.
Someone help. I don't know what
I
I'm
got you.
doing.
I got you.
No. Oh God, there's so many. There's too many.
Jesus, everybody stop.
Okay, I'm gonna start typing this one.
Okay.
1995. Henry Blake. Oop. Creates his first. Do we want to call it a superhuman, metahuman? Like, what kind of terminology do we want to use?
Up to us.
Well, okay, so we had kind of, I don't know if this is actually our lore here, but the way I was thinking of it was that the people with actual powers are naturally born that way because of the thing that happened. So if he's creating people, would he not be creating metahumans or something?
It's more like he was able
Mutates.
he was able to mutate somebody.
He's like bastardizing powers and forcing them into his
like splicing
subjects.
genetics and like
Yeah.
forcing. Yeah.
But we do have it in our lore that supers have been around. It's
Yeah.
just since the rift, there's been a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creates his own
Mutate.
Words are hard. Hold on. Henry Blake. He does a thing. He has a person, and they have powers now. I can word good. I swear.
I can word good, I swear.
The first artificial superhero.
Yeah. Creates the first artificial superhero? No, artificial
wanna give him
metahuman?
It works.
Yeah.
Do we want
that
to
works.
give that? Do we want to give the metahuman a name?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give
Hmm.
them. I think they were like already human. Like it wasn't like cloning or anything or like any test tube people. I think it was a person that he was like came in for experimentations,
Oh.
and he what Sarah, spit it out.
Yeah. Since this is basically Captain America pastiche, he creates Captain Philly.
Captain Philly. Does he-
Captain Philly is created.
Is his name Gritty?
I was gonna say his name's Gritty.
Well, wouldn't it be Private Philly?
Someone suggested, what if Nova Corp is found between interdimensional gates?
Oh.
Ooh,
Something to keep in
Ooh,
mind.
Rocky.
Private Philly.
That would. Oh yeah, that could be one of the things that kind of causes the rift to start opening more. Because we had talked about that happening like 10 years ago or so.
Private
the-
Philly,
It could be
non-binary
15.
icon.
Yes.
Ooh, love it.
Say
His,
that's
his catchphrase is "fuck around and find out, motherfucker."
I'm gonna say that's a bad thing, just because now that they have the powers to do so,
Oh yeah,
yikes and bikes.
Yikes on bikes.
That takes us back to Kirby. You're able to close it out.
Create a legacy.
No, you actually do one more thing because you're the one that started this one, right?
Oh right, I end it.
Yeah, Mo will create the legacy. So you're going to find something you find
Right, that's
interesting
right.
about this. And
Okay.
you're going to add to that. You need to add a period or an event.
So, in tandem with Sarah's Henry going to space and our friend in the comments, I am going to indeed tie this together. And in what year did he go to space?
1999.
1999. In 1998, Nova Corp develops experimental tech. I'm gonna say, I'm inventing new things here.
Do it.
Do it.
This tech was accidentally discovered. I'm brain farting or brain vomiting right now. This tech was accidentally discovered when studying the genome splices of the mutants that they had, and they found some weird non-terrestrial element to it. And in doing so, they were able to, through I don't know however many years, maybe 10 years or so of study, tie this into technology. And the genome, the genetics of this non-terrestrial thing somehow enabled them to create this, like, these basically stargates or something similar to, not necessarily a stargate, but like some kind of interdimensional thing, using DNA stuff we do to do interdimensional.
Now I know where I recall that name Henry Blake from. It's the first lieutenant colonel on MASH.
That's
I was like, why does that sound familiar? Henry Blake. Why is it familiar? Okay.
I'm going to say create an interdimensional engine, but they never actually they don't solve it until Henry Blake actually uses the ship to fly into the rift.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the rift is like the power source that it needs to actually work.
Does the gate work after he enters the rift or no?
No,
Or
I'm
do
going to
they
say
use the
this
gate
is
then?
I'm going to say this is an engine, not a gate. So they put the engine in this ship that Henry Blake flew into the rift, and the only way it actually works is the energies from the rift to kind of power this engine with this material. Yeah, that's the way I'm going with it.
Okay.
Does Jason continue work on that after his father disappears?
Secrets.
We don't know that yet. Someone
Okay.
may be able to decide.
Okay.
All right. Mo, you get to choose a legacy. What is something you find interesting about this?
Other than Private Philly.
You can go with that if you want.
I really do that. We have our first, our first mutated human. Like they weren't born with the powers, but they were given them. Oh my god, what's the legacy again? Hold on one second. Person to the right. Make it specific. Betrayal's too vague. The betrayal of the Sea Tribe works. The legacies have the player's name and stuff. Okay. I'm gonna say Private Philly. Does Private Philly go rogue?
Fuck yeah.
Sounds like Philly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he does.
Becomes the either.
They
I don't-
do.
You're a non-binary anarchist icon.
I love
Yes.
No, I won't do what you tell me.
The whole events of Civil War, but with Captain Philly or Private Philly.
And I think do I put that anywhere, or is it just go in legacies?
So you now get to create an event that ties in
Okay.
with that, and you
Oh.
can decide where it goes.
So they were created in 1995. Jason shuts down in 2001. After Jason takes over and renames and rebrands, he's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." Why do I keep grabbing comment and it, like, looks weird? Like, why does that look weird?
Grab note
Where's note?
at the top.
Oh, okay. Yes, please delete. Thank you.
They
Oh,
look very similar. I almost grab comment all the time.
Are we
'cause I'm
calling
just
him
like,
Private
lines?
Philly?
Yes.
That's what their
Okay.
name is. Yeah.
Alliteration is key.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning.
But does Private Philly change their name when they go rogue and
Oh,
become
yes.
Staff Sergeant
my
Philly.
dream anarchist?
I think they go by Spectre afterwards.
Oh,
Ooh.
Spectre Sharp.
Sexy.
And maybe because some of their powers, they actually do like some sort of like invisibility
Oh.
and like
Oh.
ghostiness. Yeah.
I am
So-
attracted to Private Philly.
So is Private Philly its own event or just something we're putting underneath the Nova Corp?
Well, it's an event that happens with Nova Corp, like a
Yeah.
period are the big things.
Do
This is
people
Private
actually
Philly
know
goes
Private? Do people actually know Private Philly's real name, or is that a hush hush secret?
I think it got washed from all sort of aspects, and they
Ooh,
became
love it.
they became
Love it.
they became a item
Yeah.
of the corpse.
Ooh,
Yeah.
love it.
There is no
they-
secret identity. There is only private.
There is
Philly.
only Spectre.
There's only
Was there mind wash part of this? Who knows? Maybe just a little bit, some brain poking, like, defects from Blake Industries. Oh, Blake Industries. And it goes rogue. Changes their name to Spectre after their invisibility.
I'm gonna do some fan art of Private Philly stat.
Yeah, me too. For research
Do we love them now? Is that what
purposes.
happened?
God, I wish I could
Yes.
draw.
They're my favorite
Uh,
person ever now.
If
Every time I
any
see
of you
people
can
who draw.
draw,
Every time I see people who
Nope.
draw, I'm kind of amazed. They're like, "You could learn if you." I'm like, no. I would give my arm to draw, but you could learn. I'm like, no, just want to.
Nah, shan't.
See,
For
that's
research purposes.
that's the problem. I don't want to learn it. I just want to be able to
Yeah.
do it.
I put my effort into other art forms. That's just one. It feels like magic, and I want to know how. I don't want to learn how. So, question wise, time wise, we are about 9:52. It's about the 3 hour mark. Are we good to keep going, or is this something we need to end soon? This is all up to y'all. I am
Going.
good.
I'm good for now.
I'm good.
I would prefer to end soon. It's almost 11 o'clock for me, and I have to go to work tomorrow. So
Okay. So I think we might be able
East
to do this.
Coaster.
So far, Sarah, Nessa, you said something, but I couldn't hear you. You're muted.
No, I just said same, and then I did finger guns.
Okay, so we might be able to do so over the next week or so. We could. I'll make a channel in our Discord. So I think I will make one called. So it'll be. So I think over the next week or so, we can kind of add some stuff to this. And then, because I was probably going to have us do some of that anyway, just to add some stuff about other superheroes we know. Though in the first session or two, that won't be probably a big deal. Yeah, if we want to go ahead and end here, but we'll make it like a 3 hour thing each week.
Mhm.
So at this point, we'll get there. We'll be able to get you do the focuses. We'll add stuff here. We'll have the opportunity to talk about it, and then if it's not totally finished by next time, that'll be.
Yeah. For
So
continuity
basically-
purposes, can you move a link to the Milo note into the
Yes,
Microscope
I
thread?
am going to do that right now.
So basically, rather than having the back and forth sessions on Milno and the Microscope, we'll do it in the chat.
Yeah, so here we can do this in the chat. This will give us an opportunity over the next week, because one thing I'll probably have people do anyway is like, hey, what are some, even if we just list off a couple superheroes and stuff that people would know about, just so we can name drop them a bit. And this is one of those things we can come back to every once in a while and add a few things to, if we want to. I am very excited about these ideas.
me too. I'm
Uh,
sorry to be a bummer and cut it short, but
No, I
do
totally
not
get
feel
it.
good.
I set my alarm for 5 o'clock because I was not able to get stuff done at home this week. I'm gonna get it done tomorrow before the kids get.
This is
I
a
am-
cool world.
I'm super
Very
excited,
excited
about
about our. And there's like so many ideas. My brain's going like 7 different directions now
know.
for like character
I know.
design. So like.
Am I a member of the Giovanni crime family? One of the
Same.
last rant.
Oh yeah, the other thing we'll talk about over the next week is which. Here, I'll put in chat real quick the thing for us giving people our stuff. We'll also be able to determine what playbooks you want to go with. We can actually talk about. It'll be more fun to talk about it in person next time about those questions. We will talk about it and then start next week. I'm Michael Matthews. I am at Improv GM on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. If we want to go, Steve, Mo, Kirby, Sarah, and then Nessa.
I am Steve. I'm the Dragon X on TikTok, and looking forward to next week.
I'm Mo. I am. What do we do? Oh, handles. I'm Serena Bezos all over the internet. Follow my socials. I don't know what else I need to say. Oh god, my brain's short circuit. Skip me.
I'm Kirby. I am not Moonforge anymore. I'm disaster tourism everywhere. So you can count on me to be around places.
I'm Sarah. I'm Powerful Week 1 on TikTok and Powerful Week almost everywhere else.
Nessa, Loch Nessa on basically everything. LOCHNEASSA.
This is gonna
All
be so
right.
cool.
I think is that all of us?
That's
Yeah.
all of us.
That is all of
All
us.
right. Y'all have a great evening. We'll go ahead and end the stream now.